Chapter 4470. Lu Ming, Anya rose, and the others didn't dare to relax. They were constantly looking around. Suddenly, in the thick fog, a few more screams were heard. "Who is it? You're courting death." Then a few angry roars were heard. A few attacks were launched in that direction, but after one attack, they stopped. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The others rushed over, but they only saw 3 corpses. Among the corpses, one was a young genius. Everyone recognized him. He was a genius on the universe genius list, but he was dead. The other corpses were a middle-aged man and an old man. The middle-aged man had the strength of the 9th great supreme god layer, and the old man was a godly master. Now they were all dead. What's going on? We were so close. How could they kill us? Why didn't I sense anything? Did you see them? No. Everyone was talking at once. The more they talked, the uglier their faces became. They were already very close to each other, but they were still ambushed. A divine master expert and a genius were killed, and a life spirit origin stone fragment was taken away. How did they do it? Of course, they couldn't be within 100 meters of each other. They were at least a few hundred meters away from each other. A few hundred meters was really close to them. They could arrive in a blink of an eye. Although their vision was limited to 100 meters in this place, they would be able to detect the slightest movement in an instant. Logically speaking, it was difficult for the heavenly human tribe to ambush them at such a close distance. But the fact was, someone was really ambushed and killed. Without anyone noticing, by the time the others arrived, the enemy had already disappeared. This was a bit strange. Damn the heavenly human tribe. How did they do it? Damn it! Some people roared. They were furious, but there was nothing they could do. At this time, Lu Ming and Anya Rose went forward to check the wounds. Then, they looked at each other and retreated. No matter what, they had to continue walking. Everyone calmed down and continued on their journey. But this time, they were more cautious. More than 40 people gathered within 100 meters. They moved forward under the double detection of sight and spiritual awareness. This time, there was no movement for a few days, and they were not attacked by the heavenly human tribe. Could it be that the heavenly human tribe saw that we were gathered together and couldn't do anything, so they left? It's very likely that we're heading in the opposite direction of Yi Wu of the heavenly human tribe. We're getting further and further away from the heavenly human tribe. It's normal for them to leave after seeing that they can't do anything to us. However, I still can't let my guard down. Everyone discussed for a moment. Another day later, the fog receded. His field of vision suddenly widened, and his spiritual sense was no longer obstructed. He was able to explore very far places. Everyone immediately extended their spiritual senses to investigate, but in the end, they found nothing. Look around. Many people flew up and flew in all directions to see if there were any traces of the heavenly human tribe. Now that the fog had retreated, there was one advantage, and that was that there was no need to worry about sneak attacks. Even though they were very far away, everyone could still see each other. If there was any movement, the others would be able to help in an instant. However, even after searching a large area, they still couldn't find any traces of the heavenly human tribe. There was no trace of the heavenly human tribe's aura either. Only then did everyone heave a sigh of relief. It seemed that the heavenly human tribe had really retreated. With a wide field of vision and no heavenly human tribe around, everyone sped up. It had to be said that the ancient city was really huge. Moreover, they couldn't fully utilize their speed here. After a few days of traveling, they were still in the outer area. They had not reached the core area yet. Look, that mountain is very special. Suddenly, someone pointed at a large mountain in the distance. Everyone looked over, and their expressions changed. The mountain was shaped like a ferocious beast. Its mouth was wide open, but there was a stone door in its mouth. The stone door was closed. Other than that, there were no other doors around it. Everyone's eyes flickered. There was indeed something strange about that mountain. The various buildings that they had encountered before could be entered at will, but there were no stone doors in those buildings. However, that place was different. The stone door was closed. Could there be treasures in that mountain? Everyone's eyes immediately lit up. Let's go. Needless to say, everyone rushed toward the mountain. Soon, they arrived not far away from the stone door. Someone directly attacked and blasted out a burst of energy, bombarding the stone door. Boom! When the energy hit the stone door, dense runes suddenly appeared on and around the stone door, blocking the energy. An array formation. Everyone's hearts skipped a beat, and they became even more excited. That was the first time they had seen a place protected by a rune array formation after entering the ancient city. There might really be treasures inside. The heavenly court has been destroyed by the heavenly palace for countless years. Even if there is a rune array formation, it must not be very powerful after so many years. If we join forces and attack it together, we will definitely be able to destroy this rune array formation. Someone suggested. Of course, no one objected. They all attacked. Powerful attacks bombarded the stone door. The stone door rumbled and exploded. The sound spread far and wide, causing everyone's hearts to tremble. They were afraid that it would attract the powerhouses of the heavenly human tribe. However, in the face of a possible treasure, no one was willing to give up. That was a treasure left behind by the heavenly court. What if it was a heaven-defying treasure? Everyone gritted their teeth and continued to attack. In the blink of an eye, half a day had passed. Fortunately, it did not attract the attention of the heavenly human tribe. However, what made everyone speechless was that after half a day of bombardment, the stone door still did not move. Looking at the runes on the array formation, the light did not seem to have weakened. This rune array formation is so difficult to break. If this continues, we might not be able to break it even after a few months. It will be troublesome if the powerhouses of the heavenly human tribe are attracted. Someone said, "Let's see if the vitality stone fragments are useful. Let's take them out and try." An old man suggested. The old man's name was Xueqi, and he was one of the 3 second-level divine master experts. Moreover, this old man was very special because he controlled a vitality stone fragment. The other older people had followed the younger people and did not have life spirit primordial stone fragments themselves. This was because the vitality stone fragments would choose the more talented people as their masters. All right, let's try it together. Hearing Xueqi's words, everyone nodded and had no objections. Then, they took out the life spirit vitality stone fragments. Bas, bas. As soon as the vitality stone fragments were taken out, they trembled slightly and resonated with each other. Chapter 4471. When everyone took out their life spirit vitality stone fragments, all of them resonated with each other and emitted a rich light. The radiance gathered together and flew towards the stone door. When the radiance enveloped the stone door, the runes on and around the stone door quickly melted like snow meeting fire. It works! Everyone's eyes lit up. It turned out that the natal spirit stone fragments were really useful. With enough natal spirit stone fragments, one could really open some ancient ruins in the natal spirit heavenly court. Could it be that the natal spirit stone fragments were equivalent to a key? That was really possible. In just a few breaths, the runes around the stone door had completely disappeared. Boom! Someone made a move and continued to blast out a beam of energy, bombarding the stone door. This time, there was no rune array blocking it. With a click, the stone door opened under the force of the energy. Many people's eyes lit up and they could not hold back. In a flash, they rushed into the stone door. Let's go! Let's go too! Those who had fragments of life spirit primordial stones put them away and led their people towards the stone door. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shen, Anya Rose and the others also rushed into the stone door. Behind the stone door was a passageway. It was obvious that this passageway had been forcefully carved out of the mountain, and it was slanted downwards. Everyone followed the passageway and before long, they arrived at a huge underground space. This underground space was very wide and one could not see the end of it. It was like a world. What a rich divine qi! And what a rich metal qi! Lu Ming and the group's hearts stirred as they looked around. This underground space had an extremely special environment. It had an extremely rich divine qi that floated in the air like a mist, as if it was about to materialize. At the same time, it had an extremely rich metal qi. Rare metal materials could probably be born here. I'll breathe, I'll breathe, I'll breathe, breathe, breathe. On Lu Ming's wrist, Xueqi opened its mouth and tried its best to absorb the metal qi in the air. It was obvious how rich the metal qi was. Even Xueqi was alarmed. Look, what's that? Someone exclaimed and looked at the stone door in front of them. Everyone flew over and arrived before the stone tablet. The stone tablet wasn't big. It was only 10 feet tall, and there were some words written on it. The ancient Chaotic Heaven Sword is Divine Lord Chaotic Heaven's personal sword. It fought alongside Divine Lord Chaotic Heaven for half of his life, and after it was destroyed, it was sealed here. These were the words on the stone tablet. At this moment, everyone realized that there was a big box under the stone tablet. It was impossible to tell what material the chest was made of, but it was covered with magical symbols that formed a spell formation that constantly absorbed the god items and metal energy in the area. Could it be that the ancient Chaotic Heaven Sword is in this chest? Unfortunately, it's a broken sword. Even if it's a broken sword, it's still a main-grade divine weapon. If it's well preserved, the materials used to refine it can be used to forge a main-grade divine weapon. Not bad. Open it and take a look. Immediately, several people made their moves. The rune array on the big box was not a defensive array. It was only used to absorb the surrounding divine artifacts and metal chi, so it could be easily destroyed. In just a few moments, the rune array on the box was destroyed, and then the box was opened. Immediately, a powerful sword chi rushed out of the chest. Furthermore, a dense black fog appeared. Within the mist, there seemed to be souls howling and howling. What powerful sword chi! It's a sword! Several people cried out in alarm. Everyone looked over, and sure enough, there was a pitch-black battle sword in the chest. However, this sword was not complete. The tip of the sword had been broken, but it still retained a powerful intelligence. This could be seen from the sword chi it exuded. Such powerful sword chi! This sword is definitely a main-grade divine weapon, and a top-class one at that. Although it's broken, it's been preserved too well. Its intelligence is intact. If a master artificer were to extract the materials inside and combine them with other materials, he might be able to forge a new main-grade divine weapon. I want this sword. Swish! Someone reached out to grab the ancient Chaotic Heaven Sword in the box. But how could the others just give it up? They immediately made their own moves. Boom, boom, boom. After exchanging a few blows, they were forced to retreat and stand off. I found this steel first. You want to fight with me? A youth shouted. Who said you found it first? You were the first to speak, so you found it first? This old man found it before you even spoke. An old man sneered. I found it as soon as I entered. Another youth called out. No one was willing to back down. This old man wants this ancient sword. Suddenly, Xueqi made his move. He took a step forward, unleashing a berserk aura that forced the others back. Then, he reached out to grab the ancient Chaotic Heaven Sword. He was a second-level godlord, so the others would find it difficult to contend against him. Only the other two godlords could contend against him, but their eyes flickered several times, but they did not make a move. It was not worth it to risk their lives against an expert of the same level for a broken main-grade divine weapon. In the end, the ancient Chaotic Heaven Sword fell into Xueqi's hands. Eat. I want to eat. I want to eat. Xueqi struggled on his wrist, but he was suppressed by Lu Ming. It's really good stuff, but this old man is too strong. He's hard to deal with. Lu Ming sighed softly. This broken ancient sword was well preserved and full of spirituality. It was a great supplement for Xueqi. Lu Ming really wanted to snatch it for Xueqi to eat and increase his strength. Xueqi's strength had fallen too far behind theirs. Xueqi was in a miserable state in Zenith's Supreme Immortal City because his strength had not increased by much. Xueqi could only continuously increase his strength by continuously absorbing metallic materials or divine weapons made of metal. He was not interested in the divine medicines mentioned above and had no effect on them. The desolation pills in Zenith's Supreme Immortal City were great supplements for others and could allow their cultivation to advance by leaps and bounds, but their effects were limited for Xueqi. Refining the desolation pills made Xueqi's strength increase very slowly. The weapons and pill furnaces in Zenith's Supreme Immortal City were protected by the intents and laws of Zenith's Supreme Immortal City, so Xueqi could not eat them at all. During his 50 years in Zenith's Supreme Immortal City, Xueqi had found several pieces of special metals. However, the metals in Zenith's Supreme Immortal City were no small matter. Xueqi had only found 3 pieces, and after refining them, his cultivation had increased by leaps and bounds. He was now at the 6th level of the Great Supreme God Realm. But compared to Lu Ming and the others, he was still too weak. Lu Ming wanted to find some precious metals or high-level broken divine weapons for Xueqi to devour. The ancient chaotic heaven sword was a very good food. Chapter 4472. The ancient chaotic heaven sword was a top-grade divine weapon, and the materials used to forge it were extremely precious. If Xueqi had devoured it, it would have been of great help. Unfortunately, it had fallen into Xueqi's hands. Trying to take it from a second-level godlord was tantamount to snatching food from a tiger's mouth. There's also a steal over there. All of a sudden, someone shouted softly. Everyone hurriedly looked over. While this person was speaking, someone had already charged over. Let's go. Everyone's figure moved, and they rushed over there. There was indeed a steal there, almost identical to the one on the ancient chaotic heaven sword. Boom. At this moment, a great battle had already broken out, divine power bursting forth. The first few groups of people to arrive had already begun to attack. By the time Lu Ming and the others arrived, they discovered that there was indeed a large chest under the steel. The chest had already been opened, and terrifying ripples were emanating from within. These ripples were boundless and lofty, as if they were the origin of everything, the core of the universe. Origin. This was an source-level divine weapon. At this moment, everyone's hearts trembled, their eyes blazing with desire. The remaining 8 god lords in particular had even more fervent looks in their eyes. The 8 divine lord realm experts all charged at the chest. Then, a great battle erupted. The chaotic battle between the 8 god lords was incomparably intense. Terrifying ripples of energy swept out in all directions like a terrifying wave. Those below the god lord level retreated. Only a small number of people were able to block this wave of energy. For example, Lu Ming's group and Anya Rose's group had to be at least a 9th level god emperor to be able to stabilize themselves. However, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Anya Rose, and the others did not move. Although there was an source-level divine weapon in the chest, it was clearly incomplete, with only half of it remaining. Of course, it was very well preserved, and its spirituality was still present. If one could extract the materials within, it would still fetch an astonishing price. However, it was truly too difficult to take it from the hands of 8 greedy god lords. Moreover, there were 3 second-level god lords. Even if they could take it, they would become a target for everyone. The 8 god lords exchanged several dozen blows, and the battle grew more and more intense. Kill! Xueqi roared as his sword pierced through the forehead of a first-tier divine lord. Destructive sword chi instantly obliterated this person's soul and cosmic bridge. A first-layer divine master expert had fallen. Bang! At the same time, another first-layer divine master was struck by a second-layer divine master. His body was torn apart, and as he screamed, his body and soul were destroyed. In the blink of an eye, 2 first-layer divine lords had been killed. Out of the 8, only 6 remained. 3 second-level divine masters and 3 third-level divine masters. At this moment, the 3 first-layer divine masters were greatly shocked. They retreated frantically, not daring to participate in the fight. The difference in strength between a first-level divine master and a second-level divine master was still too great. Fighting over treasures among second-level divine masters was an act of courting death. Boom, boom, boom. There were still 3 second-layer divine masters left, and the battle became even more intense. All sorts of killing moves were unleashed, and the sky darkened. One could see that of the 3, Xueqi was slightly stronger. In this chaotic battle, he slowly gained the upper hand, almost obtaining the damaged soul-level divine weapon several times. However, each time Xueqi was about to obtain it, the other 2 would work together to push him back. In the blink of an eye, the 2 sides had exchanged more than 100 blows. All 3 of them were injured, and their auras were rather weak. They retreated, cautiously looking at each other. Everyone, let's stop fighting. We weren't strong to begin with, and if we continue to suffer losses, if we leave this place and run into the celestial race, we'll probably all be wiped out. That won't do anyone any good. At this moment, Dark Knight Rose stood out and said, "That's true, but who will this damaged soul-level divine weapon belong to?" A second-layer divine Lord Elder asked. "Senior, why are you so concerned about this damaged divine weapon?" "I estimate that this place is where the Life-Soul Heavenly Court buried the damaged divine weapon. There are probably more in other places. Some people have already gone to other places to search. If the 3 of you continue to fight like this, the gains will not make up for the losses." Anya Rose said. Just now, Some people had indeed left to search in other directions. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others were also planning to leave. The eyes of the 3 second-layer divine lords flashed. They knew that Anya Rose's words were reasonable, but they were still unwilling to give up the soul-level divine weapon in front of them. This damaged soul-level divine weapon in front of them truly existed. There might not be any other damaged divine weapons in other places. And even if there were, there might not be any damaged soul-level divine weapons. The two of you, this damaged soul-level divine weapon is of great use to this old man. How about you give it to this old man? This old man can compensate you. Xueqi said. The other 2 second-layer divine lords inwardly looked at him with disdain. Who wouldn't be of use to a damaged soul-level divine weapon? Only you would be of use to it? Compensation? What kind of compensation do you want to give? In the end, another second-level divine master spoke. He was still somewhat wary of Xueqi's strength. Xueqi was indeed slightly stronger among the 3 of them. Moreover, continuing the battle would be disadvantageous for them. He might not be able to take this damaged divine weapon in the end. More importantly, there might really be damaged soul-level divine weapons in other places. Many people had already gone there, so he was getting anxious. I will compensate you with some primary divine medicines and divine pills. I guarantee that you will be satisfied. Xueqi said. Let's go. While Xueqi's group was discussing, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Qiu Moon, and Wan Shen had already left to search elsewhere. At the same time, Anya Rose led her group away. The 3 second-layer divine lords were even more anxious when they saw this. Not willing to delay, they casually discussed the compensation and left after receiving it. Xueqi also obtained the damaged soul-level divine weapon as he wished. There should be more in this place. Xueqi's eyes burned with passion as he also left. The group spread out to search the underground space. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others didn't have to search for long before they found a stone stele. The 4 of them hurriedly rushed over. God Lord Fan Ye's divine weapon, the Myriad Leaves Halberd, was destroyed and buried here. These were the words carved on the stone stele. There was indeed a large chest beneath the stone stele. The chest was covered in runes that absorbed the energy of the divine weapon and metal. The 4 worked together to break open the rune array on the chest. After opening it, they saw a damaged halberd. This was a broken primary-grade divine weapon. Eat, I want to eat. Xueqi couldn't hold himself back and began to struggle on his wrist. He bared his teeth and sent sparks flying. For you. Lu Ming grabbed the broken halberd in the air and passed it to Xueqi. End of this chapter. Chapter 4473. Lu Ming handed the broken halberd to Xueqi. Xueqi was overjoyed. It flew out from Lu Ming's wrist, opened its mouth, and swallowed the broken halberd. Then, it revealed a satisfied and intoxicated expression. Lu Ming, it would be great if you could find me a few broken source-level mystical weapons. A few broken source-level mystical weapons? This guy. Lu Ming was a little speechless. This guy was really insatiable. Source-level mystical weapons, even if they were broken, were not that easy to find. In the primitive universe, even broken source-level mystical weapons were considered great treasures. They were controlled by the powerful races and were extremely precious. Even in the Merit Exchange Hall of the Heavenly Palace, there were no broken source-level mystical weapons. The best they had were broken master-level mystical weapons. Back then, Lu Ming had exchanged a few broken mystical weapons worth 1,000,000 merit points for Xueqi. They were broken master-level mystical weapons. The Heavenly Palace also treated broken source-level mystical weapons as treasures. Why would they exchange them? This was also the place where the Heavenly Palace buried the broken mystical weapons. It was possible for them to appear here. It was very, very difficult to buy a broken source-level mystical weapon in the universe. Even if one had the money, one might not be able to buy one. Also, Autumn Moon doesn't have a source-level mystical weapon yet. If there's a chance, I have to get one for Autumn Moon. Lu Ming thought to himself. Now, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Wan Shen all had source-level mystical weapons. Only Autumn Moon's weapon was still a master-level mystical weapon. This would have a significant impact on Autumn Moon's strength. Lu Ming planned to find a source-level mystical weapon for Autumn Moon. Of course, a source-level mystical weapon could only be found by chance. I'll try my best to find one for you. Digest it well, Lu Ming said to the ball. Xueqi's round body happily spun a few large circles before returning to Lu Ming's wrist. It transformed into a bracelet and began to digest that main-grade divine armament. Lu Ming and the other three continued to search in other directions. Not long after, they saw another stone tablet. However, the large chest below the stone tablet was already empty. Clearly, someone else had taken the lead. Lu Ming and the other three sped up. Finally, after a while, they saw another stone tablet. The divine weapon of Han Shen Yuan Zun, broken beyond repair, was buried here as a memorial. The words on the stone tablet made Lu Ming's heart beat faster. An origin exalt. This was a divine weapon at the origin realm. Could it be a source-level divine weapon? Lu Ming wasn't sure either. After all, a source-level divine weapon was too precious. There were extremely few source-level divine weapons in the primitive universe. Some of the weaker origin realm experts didn't even have a source-level divine weapon. Only a small number of source-level divine weapons in the primitive universe were forged by the experts of the primitive universe. Most of them were found in the ruins of the universe. They were products left behind from the previous era. Every path led to the origin. At the origin realm, many things were interconnected, whether it was weapons or other things. Therefore, although this was a divine weapon left behind by an origin realm expert, it might not be a source-level divine weapon. Open it and let's see. Lu Ming and the other three took action, constantly destroying the rune formation on the large chest. Not long after, the rune formation was broken. Lu Ming waved his hand and opened the chest. A vast aura permeated out. This aura was extremely shocking. It was extremely similar to the broken halberd that had caused the battle between Xueqi and the others. Source-level divine weapon. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Xueqi jumped out from Lu Ming's wrist excitedly. Congratulations, young master. Xueqi Moon was also full of smiles. Then I'll use this divine weapon to feed this guy. Lu Ming looked at Xian Yanqing and Wan Shen. What are you looking at me for? Is there a difference between your item and mine? Xian Yanqing rolled his eyes at Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, take it. As long as it's useful to you, take it. You don't need to ask me. I already have a source-level divine weapon. Wan Shen laughed straightforwardly. Lu Ming nodded. He didn't hold back anymore and extended his hand to grab the broken source-level divine weapon. However, at this moment, a powerful force came from afar and went straight for Lu Ming's vital spot in the middle of his back. Be careful. Xueqi Moon and the others hurriedly warned. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. He waved his hand and blasted backward, colliding with the force. With a loud bang, Lu Ming blocked the force. Lu Ming looked in that direction. Another figure continued to head in this direction. It was an old man. It's him. Lu Ming's lips curled as he recognized this old man. He was one of the three remaining first-layer godlords. The one who had attacked just now was clearly this person. The moment this old man arrived, he looked at the large box with a fiery gaze. And source-level divine weapon. The old man's eyes burned with passion. Gentlemen, this old man wants this broken source-level divine weapon. Gentlemen, please do as you please. The old man said. His eyes were fixed on the big box, unable to shift his gaze away. You want it? Old man, who do you think you are? You think you can get your hands on a source-level divine weapon? I'll give you a chance. Hurry up and scram. Wan Shen immediately roared. Little guy, what a big tone. What a big temper. The old man's gaze fell on Wan Shen as he said indifferently, I know all of you. I saw the recording of the battle in Taishang Immortal City in the illusory divine jade. All of you are peerless geniuses, but you are only god emperors. Do you really think you can fight against divine lords? This old man had seen the recording of Lu Ming and the others fighting in Taishang Immortal City in the illusory divine jade and knew that they were the top geniuses of the universe. However, the recording in the illusory divine jade was still a recording, so it was difficult for him to sense the powerful auras of Lu Ming and the others. Therefore, he couldn't truly sense the strength of Lu Ming and the others. As for him, he had full confidence in the fighting strength of a divine lord. He had once been a 9th-layer god emperor for more than 100 stellar years before breaking through to the divine lord realm by chance. The moment he broke through to the divine lord realm, he felt his fighting strength skyrocket. He felt that the divine lord realm was much stronger than the god emperor realm. He didn't believe that someone at the god emperor realm could fight against someone at the divine lord realm. He had heard that a ninth-layer god emperor with 9-star fighting strength could fight against an ordinary divine lord. However, he still didn't believe it and thought that the rumors were exaggerated. This was the blind confidence that powerful strength gave him. Hee, I'll give you 3 breaths of time to scram. If you don't, then don't. Wan Shen shouted coldly, his face darkening as killing intent appeared. What a big tone. I'd like to see how you're going to make me scram. The old man sneered. Before Wan Shen could start the countdown, his figure flashed and he pounced on Wan Shen. Boom. He punched out, his fist energy condensing into a towering mountain that pressed down on Wan Shen. Chapter 4474. Paltry Tricks. Myriad God bellowed coldly as he punched out as well, striking the mountain. Boom. The mountain exploded, but Wan Shen continued to charge at the elder. He reached out and grabbed at the air, causing a massive stone gate to appear. This was the origin secret technique, the God's Gate. The God's Gate was massive, and Wan Shen grabbed it and smashed it at the elder. Sensing the berserk power of the God's Gate, the elder paled and hurriedly used all his strength to block. He punched out with both fists, condensing a star in the air. Boom! The star collided with the sovereign's gate, causing an earth-shattering explosion. Next, cracks appeared on the star, and then it exploded. The elder retreated, spitting out mouthfuls of blood. His face was pale, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He had been injured by Wan Shen in one move. Such strength, yet you're so blindly confident. You're far inferior to the celestial race's godlords. Wan Shen mocked. Indeed, they were both first-level godlords, but this elder's strength was far inferior to the celestial race's godlords. Wan Shen could even suppress a first-level godlord of the celestial race, let alone this elder. It was normal for him to injure him in one move. Bang! Wan Shen grabbed the God's Gate and took a step forward. The earth rumbled, and his aura surged toward the elder like a raging ocean. The elder was nearly frightened to death. He hurriedly yelled, "Wait a moment. It's a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding." He was truly frightened to death. Wan Shen's strength had far exceeded his expectations. He finally knew that the rumors were true. A 9th-level God Emperor with 9-star combat strength could contend against the most ordinary first-level God Lord. Although God Lords were powerful, those monsters were even more heaven-defying. He had seen the recording of the competition in Zenith Supreme Immortal City. Of the 4 people present, Wan Shen was not the strongest. Xian Yanqing and Lu Ming were ranked above Wan Shen. One was first and the other was third. Wasn't this strength even more terrifying? He cursed himself in his heart. He shouldn't have been so greedy and confident to provoke these monsters. Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding? The myriad god sneered. Everything just now was a misunderstanding. I was just testing your strength so that I could make better arrangements when dealing with a heavenly human tribe later. Now, it has proven that your strength is beyond my imagination. So, I can rest assured. The old man was spouting nonsense without batting an eyelid. Don't spout nonsense. Dang. Myriad God bellowed and was about to attack. The old man's expression changed drastically. He turned around and ran. However, Lu Ming had unknowingly appeared behind this person and pressed down with his palm. The old man hurriedly raised his fist to block. With a boom, half of the old man's body was trapped in the ground. Indeed, even more perverted. The old man roared in his heart, but his mouth was shouting, spare me, it's really a misunderstanding." He screamed miserably, tears almost falling out of his eyes. As a divine master, it was quite difficult for him to have such acting skills. "Hand over your storage ring and I'll spare your life," Lu Ming said. He was just a first-tier divine master, and he wasn't that strong, so he didn't take him seriously. Hand over your storage ring." The old man's expression changed drastically. He was about to cry. "You won't hand it over? Then die." Myriad God shouted. "I'll hand it over." In the end, the old man reluctantly handed over his storage ring to Myriad God. Scram! Myriad God waved his hand. The old man felt as if he had been pardoned. He turned around and ran, wailing in his heart. He was so regretful that he wanted to bang his head against the wall. "Lu Ming, here you go." Myriad God tossed the old man's storage ring to Lu Ming. "I only want the damaged divine weapon." The rest is yours. Lu Ming scanned the ring with his spiritual sense and found 2 damaged divine weapons. However, they were both main-grade divine weapons. Lu Ming put them away and returned the storage ring to Myriad God. Myriad God put it away without hesitation. With their relationship, there was no need for such courtesy. Lu Ming put away the damaged origin-grade divine weapon as well. This broken divine weapon looked like a mirror, made of ancient bronze. However, it was already broken, and a hole had appeared in the middle of it. Lu Ming's group of 4 found it hard to remain calm. An origin-grade divine weapon had a hole punched through it. It looked like it had been punched through by a finger. This was truly astonishing. What sort of existence could have such fighting strength? Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Myriad God all possessed origin-grade divine weapons, so they knew just how tough they were. They were completely indestructible. Let alone origin-grade divine weapons. Even main-grade divine weapons were extremely powerful. Unless they were struck by an origin-grade divine weapon, they would be very difficult to destroy. Needless to say, someone had punched through them with a finger. I'll eat, I want to eat. Upon seeing the origin-grade divine weapon, Xueqi became extremely excited, its round body constantly twisting and turning. Xueqi, this is an origin-grade divine weapon. Its spirituality is perfect. Can you really eat it? Lu Ming asked. Origin-grade divine weapons were not to be underestimated. The materials used to forge them were even more extraordinary and contained an astonishing amount of energy. He was afraid that after Xueqi ate it, not only would it not be able to digest it, but it would also cause major problems. Direction. I have a feeling that I can even digest an origin-grade divine weapon in perfect condition. Why don't you give me an origin-grade divine weapon in perfect condition? Xueqi revealed a row of neat rows of teeth, looking very cunning. Go away, go away. Lu Ming unexpectedly kicked Xueqi away, then threw the damaged origin-grade divine weapon to Xueqi. As for the 2 main-grade divine weapons he had obtained from the Divine Lord Realm Elder, Lu Ming did not give them to Xueqi. He was really afraid that Xueqi would not be able to digest them and die from overeating. Then, they continued forward and continued their search. This underground space was truly extraordinary. They concluded that this was the place where the Life Soul Heavenly Court used to bury the damaged divine weapons of the Life Soul Heavenly Court experts. Therefore, a large formation had been set up here, which contained rich divine weapons and metal qi. It was used to nurture the divine weapons. Therefore, even after so many years, the damaged divine weapons here were still as good as new, with their spirituality intact. Next, Lu Ming and the others gained quite a lot. They found another 5 main-grade divine weapons and 1 origin-grade divine weapon. In that case, Lu Ming would have 7 master-level incomplete divine weapons and 1 source-level incomplete divine weapon. Lu Ming put away all the main-grade divine weapons they found. He did not give them to Xueqi. One could not become fat in one bite. It was better to take it slowly. After that, they did not gain much, because the other big boxes had been found by others before them. I really don't know how many damaged divine weapons there are, especially the origin-grade divine weapons. Lu Ming thought, feeling a little excited, but then he shook his head. It was just a thought. With their strength, they could not eat all the damaged divine weapons. Chapter 4475. After some time, Lu Ming and the others returned to the entrance. The others had also returned. However, Lu Ming discovered that some people were still missing. 6 people were missing. One of them was a first-level divine lord. Everyone looked at each other, knowing what was going on. Those missing people must have been killed by others while fighting over the divine weapon fragment. However, no one said anything. We've finished exploring this place. Let's go. Xueqi said. Everyone nodded and left together, continuing onward. Soon, 10 some days had passed. The fog descended once more, shrouding the ancient city in a thick fog. This time, everyone was a lot bolder. This was because they had already left the celestial race. There were no longer any celestial race cultivators in this region. In the fog, the group once more distanced themselves from each other. After the divine weapon fragment, everyone's minds became active once more. If they could find such a treasure ground by themselves and not share it with others, wouldn't that be great? Only Lu Ming's group of 4 and Dark Knight Rose's group did not separate. Instead, they moved together. Sure enough, before long, something happened. Half a day after the fog had risen, Several miserable screams resounded through the region. Everyone was shocked and rushed over to take a look. In the end, they saw a corpse lying on the ground, no longer breathing. A one-hit kill. Just like before, it was a one-hit kill. One of them was a first-level divine lord. Damn it! What's going on? Isn't there no celestial race cultivators in this region? How could someone be killed? Someone roared, on the verge of a mental breakdown. Was it done by one of our own? Someone asked. Everyone's hearts immediately rose to their throats. Their figures flickered as they maintained their distance from the others. Moreover, everyone was looking at the remaining Divine Lord experts, especially the 3 second-level Divine Lords. It really was possible that one of them had done it. There was an extremely high possibility that they had secretly killed others and seized their natal soul origin stone fragments. And the most likely possibility was that the 3 second-level Divine Lords had done it. Only they were capable of killing a first-layer Divine Lord in a single strike when their opponent was caught off guard. It was very difficult for a first-level Divine Master to do so. Everyone, don't fall into their trap. Perhaps this is the celestial race's plan. They want us to be suspicious of each other and panic so that they can take advantage of us. Xueqi shouted. Heavenly Human Tribe? Where was the Heavenly Human Tribe? We didn't encounter any heavenly humans along the way. Someone said. But the residual energy in their wounds is clearly the energy of the heavens. How do you explain that? Xueqi said. Everyone fell silent. That's right. The remnant energy in these people's wounds was indeed the energy of the heavens. This point was undeniable. As for the heavenly energy, only the people of the heavenly human clan were capable of controlling it. The people of the other clans were unable to control it. Could it be that the heavenly human race really did it? He has mastered a terrifying concealment technique and is hiding in the dark to watch us? Someone said. His voice was trembling and filled with fear. Hearing this, the others also felt a chill run down their spines. It was as if there was a pair of eyes staring at them in the dark, causing them to feel a chill down their spines. Could it really be so? Was there a terrifying heavenly human tribe elite watching them from the dark? Or could it be that the murderer was one of them? For a moment, it was difficult for everyone to tell who was real and who was fake. They only felt that there was danger everywhere around them. I think we'd better wait here and wait for the fog to recede. It won't be too late to take action then. A young man said. He and a few of his subordinates sat cross-legged on the spot and did not intend to leave. Now, it was safer to stay where they were and keep a distance from the others. At the same time, they also looked around. In this way, whether it was the heavenly human tribe or their own people, they could be on guard. I also think that's the best way. Let's wait for the fog to recede before we leave. The others also did the same. They sat where they were and kept a distance from the others. However, the distance was not that far. Once there was a movement, the others could immediately support them. Lu Ming, Anya rose, and the others looked at each other and also sat where they were. The scene suddenly became extremely quiet. In my opinion, the murderer is among us. At that moment, Anya Rose spoke. However, she did not speak to everyone. Instead, she spoke to Lu Ming, Xianyanqing, Di Jenny, and the others. Her voice was only heard by the two groups of people. How do you know? Wan Shen's eyes moved and he also sent a voice transmission. Lu Ming has checked before. Lu Ming, you should have found something, right? Anya Rose said. Xianyanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shen, Di Jenny, Ling Hang, Yin Jiuling Xiu Wuji, and the other 3 young men could not help but look at Lu Ming. That's right. I also think that the murderer is not from the heavenly human tribe. He is among this group of people. Because, although there is residual heaven's power in their wounds, there is also a trace of death qi in the residual heaven's power. Although it is faint, it can be discovered if one observes carefully. Lu Ming said, and he continued to send a voice transmission. Since he suspected that the murderer was among this group of people, he naturally could not let others hear it. Death qi. What does this mean? Wan Shen asked. However, there were a few people whose eyes lit up as though they had thought of something. For example, Xianyanqing and Di Jenny. Death qi, it means that the owner of heaven's power is dead. However, a dead person would not kill. This time, it was Anya Rose who was alive. Then, Wan Shen and the others who did not understand initially had their eyes lit up. I know. Someone made use of the dead heavenly human tribe members to kill and steal the vitality stone fragments. Wan Shen said. That's right. Although I don't know what means they used, this is probably the reason. Otherwise, even if they have some hidden means, they wouldn't be able to appear and disappear so stealthily that we did not notice at all. It could only be done by one of our own. The other party's guard was lower and hence, they could kill in one blow. The most likely culprits would be the 3 second Heaven Divine Masters. Lu Ming said. What should we do next? Wan Shen asked. Get rid of this person. Otherwise it will be difficult for us to move about. We have many vitality stone fragments in our hands and will definitely be targeted by this person. Even if we leave now, this person will follow us and secretly ambush us. This time, it was Anya Rose who spoke. Get rid of this person? The other party might be a second Heaven Divine Master. To put it bluntly, even if all of us join forces, we might not be able to kill a second Heaven Divine Master expert. Lu Ming said. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible. However, if we plan carefully and work together with Xian Yanqing and I, it might not be impossible. Anya Rose said. Chapter 4476. You teamed up with Little Qing? Lu Ming was puzzled, and so were the others. Of course, Xian Yanqing was the only exception. She and I have a joint attack technique. Once we use it, its power is astonishing. With our current strength, we can even kill a second-tier Divine Lord. Dark Knight Rose explained. Everyone's hearts trembled. Dark Knight Rose and Xian Yanqing had a joint attack technique that could unleash such astonishing power. In truth, joint attack techniques that could increase one's power were very difficult to cultivate and were very rare. Only after many years of cooperation and telepathy could one unleash the full potential of each person's talent. Only then could it be considered a truly powerful joint attack technique. That kind of cooperation through a formation could not be called a true joint attack technique. It was just a kind of formation. Lu Ming had seen Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan use a joint attack technique. Could Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose use it as well? It was very likely. After all, their relationship in his previous life was similar to his relationship with Xueqi. It was just that they had spent much more time together. It was normal for them to be able to use a joint attack technique. Xian Yanqing nodded silently, clearly agreeing with Dark Knight Rose's words. But we don't even know who our opponent is. Even if we have a joint attack technique, we can't use it. How can we lure the murderer out? Myriad God asked. The murderer wants the natal spirit stone fragments. As long as we give the murderer an opportunity to attack, won't he come out? Dark Knight Rose said. You want someone to be the bait, but in the current situation, if you deliberately use them as bait, the murderer will probably be suspicious and won't fall for it easily. Lu Ming said. Everyone was in danger and doubted the people around them. If they did something strange, such as deliberately leaving to be the bait, the murderer would most likely be suspicious. Because in the current situation, it was not normal for one or two people to deliberately leave. Anyone with a brain would suspect that there was something fishy going on. There are 2 conditions to lure out the culprit. First, the natal spirit stone fragments. Only with enough natal spirit stone fragments will it be attractive enough. Secondly, there needs to be a suitable reason. Therefore, we can only rely on Lu Ming and me. Dark Knight Rose smiled. The 2 of us have enough life spirit primordial stone fragments, but how can we leave without arousing suspicion? Lu Ming said. A handsome man and a beautiful woman, dry wood and blazing fire. Is there a better reason than this to sneak away? Dark Knight Rose said, staring at Lu Ming with her big watery eyes. Lu Ming was speechless. The others were also speechless, especially Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing. They looked at Dark Knight Rose with hostility. I think we should use other methods, Lu Ming said. Is there a better way? Tell me. Dark Knight Rose said. Lu Ming was silent. To be honest, there was no better reason than this. Using other methods would seem too deliberate and the culprit might not be fooled. But this method. Are you afraid that your woman will be jealous? Ha ha ha, we're not doing anything. We're just leaving for a while to lure the culprit out. As long as the culprit shows up, we'll immediately send a signal and the others will arrive to suppress the culprit. It's that simple. Why are you hesitating? Are you a man or not? Dark Knight Rose said. Lu Ming was speechless. Lu Ming, I think this plan is feasible. Xian Yanqing suddenly said. Young master, I think so too. Autumn Moon also quickly expressed her opinion, as if she was afraid of falling behind. Lu Ming, your woman has already expressed her opinion. What are you still hesitating for? Are you a man or not? Dark Knight Rose said. He had been repeatedly questioned if he was a man. Lu Ming really wanted to yell, do you want to test it? Of course, it was just a thought. What else could Lu Ming say? In the end, he naturally agreed. Then, everyone discussed the steps and details of the plan. After ensuring that it was foolproof, they began to act. After waiting for a few hours, Lu Ming and the Dark Knight Rose used the excuse of checking out the surrounding situation to leave and explore the surroundings. After the two of them searched around, they went in a direction and disappeared into the fog. Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose came to a dilapidated building dozens of miles away. Let's hope that the culprit will come, Lu Ming said, of course, using voice transmission. Before he finished speaking, a fragrance wafted over. Dark Knight Rose approached and was almost leaning against him. What are you doing? Lu Ming asked subconsciously. A handsome man and a beautiful woman. If you want to act, you naturally have to act more realistically. Otherwise, how will the other party believe you? Dark Knight Rose said in Lu Ming's ear. Her warm breath blew into Lu Ming's ear. As soon as she finished speaking, Dark Knight Rose fell into Lu Ming's arms. Lu Ming suddenly felt a little uneasy. Dark Knight Rose's seduction was not just for show. It was top-notch in the universe. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. It's enough, Lu Ming said. His voice was a little hoarse. It seems that I misunderstood you before. Now it proves that you are really a man, Dark Knight Rose said. Lu Ming was speechless. Coming. Suddenly, Dark Knight Rose said two words in Lu Ming's ear. Her body flashed and she quickly retreated. At the same time, she waved her hand and the petals of the sky-devouring rose flew out. Lu Ming's reaction was also very fast. He immediately withdrew from his uneasy state and flicked his fingers. Rays of spear light burst out and flew into the surrounding fog. Dang dang dang. A series of explosions sounded. Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose's attacks were directly defeated. Then, several terrifying rays of sword light slashed toward the two of them. It was too fast and its power was astonishing. Second-level Divine Master. As soon as they exchanged blows, the two of them could tell that the person attacking them was definitely a second-level Divine Master expert. The two of them had attacked hastily, so it was normal that they could not block it. However, the two of them had been in a state of alert, ready to attack at any time, so their reaction was also very fast. With a thought, their killing weapons appeared. Lu Ming held the obsidian staff and poured forbidden energy into it. The obsidian staff quickly enlarged and swept out, colliding with a ray of sword light. With a clang, the obsidian staff vibrated, and Lu Ming's figure retreated. On the other side, Dark Knight Rose activated her saber and also retreated after exchanging a blow with the other party. However, the two of them had caused a huge commotion and alarmed the others. Something's happening. Let's go take a look. Those experts rushed toward Lu Ming's side. They covered the distance of several dozen miles in an instant. As for the expert in the dark, when he saw that he could not kill Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose in a few moves, he wanted to retreat. However, Lu Ming's side was already prepared. Bam! Lu Ming took a step forward and brilliant rays of light erupted from the ground. Dozens of ancient mystic skills were unleashed. Great sealing art, great binding art. Chapter 4477. Dozens of secret techniques, all of which were secret techniques for trapping the enemy, shot toward the being in the fog. At the same time, Anya Rose took action. In the air, there was a huge sky-devouring rose. In the middle of the flower, there was a black hole that spun continuously and exploded with terrifying devouring power. The devouring power was continuously devouring the being in the fog. The purpose of double bind was to slow down the speed of the other party. However, the other party was really strong. With a roar, Sword Qi burst out and broke through Lu Ming's ancient secret skill. He broke through the devouring power of the sky-devouring rose and wanted to leave. However, he was still held back for a while. At that moment, there were suddenly attacks coming from the direction where the other party was escaping. A pitch-black iron rod, a rusty iron sword, and a black lotus. It was Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen, Jenny and the rest who had taken action. They were prepared. When they heard that Lu Ming, Anya Rose, and the other party were exchanging blows, they did not hesitate and rushed towards Lu Ming and the rest. They were faster than the rest. However, they did not appear immediately. Instead, they changed their position in the fog and appeared in the direction where the other party might have retreated. At the crucial moment, they launched an attack. Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen, Autumn Moon, Di Jenny, Ling Heng, Yin Jiuling, Xiao Wuji and the other 3 supreme talents. A total of 10 young experts joined forces and the power was shocking. They successfully blocked the other party's sword light and stopped him from retreating. Xueqi, it's you. At that moment, Lu Ming and Anya Rose were close to the other party and they saw the other party's face. The person was Xueqi, one of the 3 experts in the 2nd level of the Divine Master Realm. Little brat, it was you guys who set this up. I'm going to kill you. Xueqi bellowed. He controlled his voice well and only Lu Ming and the rest could hear him. However, the fog was tumbling and more people had arrived. They were the other experts. These people saw Xueqi and Lu Ming and the rest. Everyone, Xueqi is the one who secretly killed and stole the natal spirit stones. Let's work together and kill him. Lu Ming shouted. It's him. As expected, the murderer is among us. Damn it, kill him. The others were enraged when they heard this. Everyone, don't listen to this little bastard's nonsense. He's slandering us. Actually, the culprits are in cahoots with them. Xueqi shouted, wanting to bite back. Our group is ridiculous. The strongest cultivator in our group is of the 9th Great Supreme God layer. How could he kill a cultivator of the 1st Divine Master layer in one strike? Lu Ming retorted with a sneer. That's hard to say. Everyone knows that you're all peerless geniuses with powerful combat strength. Furthermore, you might be hiding some special techniques. Furthermore, it's precisely because your cultivation is low that others won't guard against you. It's not impossible for them to be killed by you in a single strike. Xueqi continued to quibble. It had to be said that this old man's ability to quibble was quite impressive. However, Lu Ming was also an expert in this aspect. He had never been afraid of anyone in this aspect. It's useless to say so much. Why don't you open up your storage rings and Sea of Consciousness and let everyone check? Won't we know who has the fragments of the natal soul primordial stones of those killed? Oh, and the storage rings of those killed seem to have been taken away as well. We can check them all together. Lu Ming said. This is a good suggestion. We'll know who the murderer is once we check. Another expert of the 2nd Divine Master layer said. I object. Storage rings and Sea of Consciousness are a cultivator's greatest secrets. How can we let others check them? Xueqi said coldly. What? Feeling guilty? Lu Ming countered. The others also looked at Xueqi with unfriendly eyes. What guilty? I object to this suggestion. Since none of you believe me, I'll just leave. Xueqi said coldly and turned to leave. You still want to leave? You still want to hide in the dark and wait for an opportunity to kill us and steal the fragments of the natal soul primordial stones? Everyone, don't let him leave, or else we'll all be in danger. Lu Ming bellowed. As expected, the others paled, and their bodies flickered as they surrounded Xueqi. Lu Ming is right. If we don't make things clear today, no one can leave. Today, we must get to the bottom of this. The crowd shouted. The person who had attacked them in the dark was too dangerous. If it really was Xueqi, they would be in constant danger if they let him go. Thus, even if there was something suspicious about Xueqi, they could not let him leave. Moreover, Xueqi was currently the most suspicious. Compared to Lu Ming's group, the crowd was more convinced that Xueqi was the murderer. After all, he was a genuine 2nd-level divine master. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, Xueqi suddenly laughed loudly. His laughter was somewhat sinister. I originally wanted to deal with all of you one by one, but since all of you insist on seeking death, I'll deal with all of you together. Xueqi's cold voice echoed through the air. Xueqi, it really was you. Damn it. Xueqi, you've got some nerve. If you commit suicide now, we'll leave your corpse intact. The crowd roared, unable to restrain their anger. It turned out that the murderer really was Xueqi. The crowd stared at Xueqi with murderous intent. Commit suicide? Ha ha ha, how laughable. Did you think that you could deal with me with just the few of you? Let me tell you from start to finish, I have never used my full strength. Now, let me show you my true fighting strength. Xueqi laughed, his aura growing stronger and stronger. Although he had not reached the 3rd level of the Divine Master realm, he was still a peak 2nd level Divine Master. At the same time, a terrifying sword light shot out of Xueqi's body. All of you will die. Kill. Xueqi roared as his sword light trembled. Immediately, dense sword chi swept out in all directions, enveloping everyone with frightening power. Careful! All of you retreat! The remaining Divine Master Realm experts shouted and stepped forward. They used their secret techniques to protect the people below the Divine Master Realm. At the same time, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others also launched their own attacks, clashing with the sword chi. Boom! Boom! There was a violent explosion. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Anya rose, and the rest trembled violently and could not help but retreat. Those with weaker fighting strength, such as Qiu Moon and Yin Jiuling, vomited several mouthfuls of blood. In another direction, of the 4 Divine Masters, 2 were 1st-level Divine Masters, and they screamed as they retreated. Several terrifying wounds had appeared on their bodies, blood gushing out from them. The 2 2nd-level Divine Masters fared better, but they were also forced back. Xueqi, your fighting strength. How is this possible? A 2nd-level Divine Master roared. End of this chapter. Chapter 4478. Xueqi's fighting strength had exceeded everyone's expectations. Although Xueqi's fighting strength had been very strong, it had only been a little stronger than the other 2 2nd-level godlords. But in the clash just now, Xueqi's fighting strength was not just a little stronger than the other 2 2nd-level godlords, it was a whole level higher. Even when so many people worked together, he had still managed to suppress them. Why do you think I was able to obtain the acknowledgement of the Life Soul Origin Stone fragment? This is because when I was young, I was also a peerless genius. If I hadn't encountered a great disaster that slowed down my cultivation, my current cultivation would have been far more than 2nd-tier Divine Lord. I would have long since become a high-level Divine Lord. You people think that you can kill me? Today, I will eliminate all of you. Xueqi roared, his face turning even more savage, and the sword light on his body grew even stronger. Clang! With the clanging of swords, Xueqi's body flickered as he swung his sword, unleashing one sword light after another. All of you fall back. A 2nd-level godlord shouted, ordering those below the godlord level to fall back. He erupted with all his strength, taking out a golden pagoda and thrusting it forward. The other 3 godlord experts also went all out, using their ultimate moves. Lu Ming and the rest also constantly activated their powerful killing weapons and charged toward Xueqi. As they attacked, Lu Ming shielded Qiuyu behind him. Amongst the 4 of them, Qiuyu was the weakest, so Lu Ming could not let Qiuyu take the risk. In this clash, Lu Ming and the others were still no match. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen, Dark Knight Rose, and the others all retreated, their bodies covered in sword wounds from which blood seeped out. They had been injured by sword chi. They still had their source-level divine weapons to block, so their situation was somewhat better, but the godlords were in dire straits. This was especially true for the 2 first-level godlords. One of them was heavily injured, his body in tatters. As for the other, he had his forehead pierced by sword light and died on the spot. Kill, kill, all of you must die, especially you, Xueqi shouted, his cold gaze fixed on Lu Ming and the others, especially the source-grade divine weapons in Lu Ming's hands. Greed and greed flashed in his eyes as he said, "After I kill you, your source-grade divine weapons will all be mine, ha ha ha." Xueqi laughed, and the sword light moved. "Today, the one who will die will be you." At this moment, a cold voice sounded. It was Dark Knight Rose. Dark Knight Rose had appeared behind Xueqi at some point. Kill. As for Xian Yanqing, he stood in front of Xueqi and shouted. His hands formed a seal, and his body emitted a shocking demonic aura. At the same time, Dark Knight Rose was also wrapped in a mysterious energy, which resonated with Xian Yanqing's devil chi. Devil Devour. Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose shouted at the same time and pushed their hands forward. Whoosh, whoosh. The heavens and earth roared, and energy surged. Then, a black lotus appeared under Xueqi's feet. The huge black lotus emitted a dense demonic light, and a huge flower appeared above Xueqi's head. It was the sky-devouring rose. The 2 flowers, one above and one below, connected with each other in multicolored light, producing a terrifying energy that instantly enveloped Xueqi. This energy was like a field that was terrifying and could destroy everything. Xueqi's body shook violently, and the divine power protecting his body shook violently. It was like ice meeting fire, and it melted quickly. Not only that, but Xueqi's body, skin, and flesh were also melting. In an instant, Xueqi's appearance became unbearable to look at. Ah! Xueqi shouted, and his divine power surged in all directions. He wanted to break through the field around him, and break through Xianyanqing and Dark Knight Rose's joint attack. However, the divine power he unleashed was also melted by this field. Break! 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 Xueqi roared, and a frenzied sword intent surged out of his body, transforming into sharp sword light that slashed at the sky, devouring Rose. Broom! The sword light clashed with the field, creating terrifying sounds of friction and explosions. Xianyanqing and Dark Knight Rose began to tremble. What are you standing around for? Hurry up and kill him. We can't hold on much longer. Dark Knight Rose roared. Xueqi's divine power was far above her expectations. Given her and Xianyanqing's current cultivation, they could kill an ordinary second-level divine lord if they used a joint attack. If the other two second-layer divine masters got caught in their joint attack, they would definitely die. They would be turned into ashes by the terrifying field energy. However, Xueqi was much stronger than an ordinary second-level divine lord. The two of them could only trap him for a moment, but they couldn't kill him. Attack! Lu Ming roared, activating the mysterious ice staff with all his strength to attack Xueqi. Myriad God, Emperor Jenny, and the others also attacked Xueqi with all their strength. The two second-level God Lord experts seemed to have woken up from a dream and used their strongest moves to attack Xueqi. At this moment, Xueqi was trapped and had to use all his strength to resist the terrifying field energy. There was no way he could block their attacks, but if they hit him, they would definitely be able to kill him. You want to kill me? Dream on! Doppelganger, come out! Xueqi roared, and two figures suddenly charged out of his body. One of the figures was a skeleton that was as white as jade and carried 5 bone swords on its back. White Bone waved its hand, and the 5 bone swords flew out, rapidly growing in size as they charged at Lu Ming's group. The other figure had a head of golden hair. It was a large man from the celestial race. He held a golden sword in his hand and sent out several sword lights at the two second-level God Lord experts. Boom! Clang! 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 The attacks of Lu Ming's group were blocked by the two figures. These bone swords. The one who attacked us earlier was him. The eyes of Lu Ming, Myriad God, and the others flashed. Before encountering Anya Rose's group, Lu Ming, Xianyanqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God had been ambushed. The attacker had used a white bone claw and a bone sword to attack them. Now, it seemed like it was Xueqi's doing. This skeleton's attack was exactly the same as the one that had ambushed them. In addition, Emperor Jenny and the others had gloomy expressions because they had also been ambushed by this skeleton. And that celestial race. Everyone's gaze turned toward the large man from the celestial race. The large man from the celestial race had his eyes closed, and there was no sign of life on his body. He was clearly a corpse. These were all Xueqi's doppelganger puppets. The wounds of the people who had been ambushed had traces of heaven's power. It was obvious that Xueqi had controlled the doppelganger puppets to attack. That was why there were traces of heaven's power in their wounds. He had used this method to bluff his way out and push all the blame to the celestial race. However, this celestial race member was dead, so there was a trace of death qi in his heaven's power. Lu Ming and Anya Rose had detected it. This was something that Xueqi had not expected. Chapter 4479. It was precisely because Lu Ming and Dark Knight Rose had realized that the celestial race wasn't responsible that they had set up this trap and drawn out Xueqi. Upon seeing the corpse of the celestial race expert, there was no need for explanation. Everyone understood. Kill! Kill! Lu Ming's group launched a second attack. However, this attack was blocked by Xueqi's two doppelganger puppets. Although the two doppelganger puppets were injured, Lu Ming and the rest did not manage to break through their defenses for the time being. Xueqi struggled with all his strength, causing Xianyanqing and Dark Knight Rose to tremble even more. If this continued, they really wouldn't be able to hold on. Once I come out, it'll be the time of your deaths. Xueqi roared, his face savage. Dark Knight Rose, Little Qing, use your origin energy to launch your strongest attack. Lu Ming messaged Dark Knight Rose and Xian Yanqing. Okay. The two replied, preparing to use their trump cards. Seniors, if we don't go all out now, when will we? Lu Ming roared at the two second-level god lords. These two second-level god lords were very important, as they were the main offensive force. Without them holding down Xueqi, they were even less of a match. The two of them hesitated for a moment before nodding, decisive looks on their faces. Boom, boom. The two second-level god lords exploded with powerful energy. This was divine power burning. The two of them were truly putting their lives on the line. At the same time, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Dark Knight Rose began to mobilize their origin energy. Dark Knight Rose had been at the same level as Xian Yanqing, a second-level godlord. Thus, the origin energy she controlled was not any weaker than Xian Yanqing's, so she could also use an attack. Devil Devour. Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose roared as they used their origin energy in this joint attack. With the addition of the origin energy, the power of the joint attack technique increased a little. That terrifying field energy was even stronger. Chu Yi's body trembled, and the sword energy he had unleashed trembled and almost collapsed. Kill! Kill! Lu Ming and the others launched another attack. This time, the two second-layer Divine Master experts burned their divine power and went all out to launch their strongest attacks. The power was astonishing, and Xueqi had no choice but to divert even more of his energy to control the celestial race doppelganger puppet to resist the two second-layer Divine Master experts. In that case, the strength of the other skeleton would be slightly weaker. Boom! The attacks of the two second-level godlords clashed with the avatar of the celestial race. After a few loud booms, the heavenly human tribe's doppelganger puppet was sent flying. However, the attacks of the two second-level divine lords were also blocked. Following that, Lu Ming, Wan Shen, and the others' attacks also collided with the puppet. It was like metal clashing against metal, and energy rippled out in all directions. The attacks of Lu Ming and the others also froze. Lu Ming's mysterious ice rod, Wan Shen's black iron rod and Emperor Jenny's rusty battlesword were all blocked by Skeleton's bone sword. Ha ha ha, you still want to kill me? Seeing the attacks of Lu Ming and the others being blocked, Xueqi laughed arrogantly. The desperate attacks of Lu Ming and the others had been blocked by Skeleton. Let's see what else they can use to fight him. At this moment, Origin! Lu Ming inwardly roared. The Origin seed trembled, and the origin energy within it flowed along his arm and into the mysterious ice rod. The mysterious ice rod was an origin-level divine weapon, and the addition of the origin energy was like adding oil to a fire, causing it to explode. Boom! The mysterious ice rod violently shuddered, and a powerful energy erupted from it and struck the bone sword. Kacha! The bone sword shattered, and the mysterious ice rod smashed into Skeleton's body. With a bang, Skeleton's body exploded. The mysterious ice rod did not stop and continued to bombard Xueqi. Xueqi's eyes widened in disbelief. He roared, "Damn it! How is this possible? This is the power of origin." He was really shocked, and he also knew that he had underestimated Lu Ming's strength. Lu Ming had been hiding his trump card before. Damn it! At the same time, he wanted to use his strength to resist, but how could Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose let him do as he wished? They tried their best to operate the joint attack technique to suppress Xueqi. Xueqi was just about to divert some of his strength to resist Lu Ming's attack, but that terrifying field energy took advantage of it. Xueqi's body quickly melted, and he was so scared that he hurriedly circulated his strength to resist. However, the mysterious ice rod did not stop, and directly smashed down. Boom! The mysterious ice rod solidly smashed onto Xueqi's body. Xueqi let out a blood-curdling scream as his body flew out like a meteor and smashed into the ground, creating a large crater. But he did not stop. His body continued to slide backwards, creating a deep ditch on the ground. He kept sliding backward for tens of thousands of meters before stopping. All the bones and muscles in his body had been completely shattered. They were in tatters, and it was unbearable to look at. His head had almost exploded, and cracks had appeared on the universe bridge in his sea of consciousness. With such serious injuries, Xueqi could no longer fight. This Xueqi was really strong. When he was young, he was definitely a top genius who could crush people of the same level. Even the heavenly human tribe people of the same level could not compare to him. The second-level Divine Master heavenly human tribe that Lu Ming had met before definitely did not have such strength. Just like he had said, if it were not for the problem, his cultivation would be much higher than this. Speaking of which, the life spirit essence stone fragment was not something that only outstanding talents would recognize. But in the end, Xueqi was still defeated by Lu Ming and the others. Xueqi lay in the large pit, spitting out blood, and his eyes were full of unwillingness and despair. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Everyone's figures flashed, and they surrounded Xueqi. Xueqi, you are doomed to death for your sins. Today we will kill you. A second-level Divine Master Elder said coldly, and his killing intent was thick. If you kill me, how will you divide the Life Spirit Origin Stone fragments in my body? The Life Spirit Origin Stone fragments are in the storage ring on my finger. Xueqi roared. These words caused the second-level Divine Master Expert's expressions to change, and their eyes flickered. Yes, after killing Xueqi, how would they divide the Life Spirit Origin Stone fragments in his body? You still want to sow discord at this time? Everyone, we can discuss the Life Spirit Origin Stone fragments after we kill Xueqi. But now we can't fall into his trap. Lu Ming said. The two second-level Divine Master Experts were shocked and came back to their senses. They thought to themselves that they had almost fallen into Xueqi's trap. If they had fought out of greed, it would only have benefited Xueqi. If Xueqi escaped, the consequences would be unimaginable. This little bastard. Xueqi roared in his heart, wishing that he could cut Lu Ming into pieces. Dang! A second-level Divine Master Elder stepped forward, about to attack. Everyone, wait a moment. I have a huge secret. Xueqi roared. Chapter 4480. Xueqi roared, causing the second-level Divine Master to stop in his tracks. Speak, what secret? The second-level Divine Master coldly demanded. It's the secret of the Heavenly Court. As long as you don't kill me, I'll tell you, Xueqi said. Humph, you still want to use this method to survive? Ridiculous. Besides, who knows if the secret you're talking about is true? Lu Ming sneered and said to the others, Everyone, I still think it's better to kill this person. Don't fall into his trap. Once you let him go, there will be endless trouble in the future. Damn it. Damn little bastard. Xueqi roared in his heart. His little scheme had been seen through by Lu Ming time and time again. He really hated Lu Ming to the bone. But there was nothing he could do. Hearing Lu Ming's words, the others revealed killing intent. He could only roar again, I'm telling the truth, absolutely true. It's the secret of the Heavenly Court. You know about the 3 supreme treasures of the Heavenly Court, right? I know where one of them is hidden. What? Upon hearing this, not only the others, but even Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Anya Rose, and the others were shocked. The life spirit was the ultimate treasure of the Celestial Court. This phrase was too tempting. Xueqi actually knew where one of the supreme treasures of the Heavenly Court was hidden? Nonsense. Who knows if you're telling the truth or not? This time, it was the second-level Divine Master who spoke. I can swear on my life origin that it's absolutely true. Also, I have a map of the Heavenly Court marked with a specific location of the treasure. It's hidden in my sea of consciousness. As long as you promise to spare my life, I can give it to you. Otherwise, I'll just destroy my sea of consciousness. That map is fragile and can be easily destroyed by me. Xueqi said. Map. Haha, Xueqi, it's often foggy here, making it difficult to tell directions. We can't even find the right direction. You have a map? This lie is too low level. Lu Ming sneered. The others' faces also darkened. Indeed, this lie was too low level. The life spirit Heavenly Court was too big, and fog would appear every once in a while. It was like a maze. It was a joke that Xueqi would have a map. You all have just entered, so it's naturally difficult for you to determine the direction. However, I have already been here for 300,000 years. How could I not know? I am extremely familiar with this place. Even in the fog, I will be able to find the right path. Xueqi said. What? You've been here for 300,000 years? This time, Lu Ming and the others were really shocked. Originally, they thought that Xueqi came in with them. They really did not expect that Xueqi had already come in. Yes, when I was young, I had a great battle and damaged my foundation, causing my cultivation to progress extremely slowly. I was unwilling to give up, so I spent my whole life studying the life spirit Heavenly Court. The purpose was to find treasures to achieve a transformation and restore my potential and talent. Finally, 300,000 years ago, I found a clue and entered the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Unfortunately, the ancient land of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court cannot be entered by a fragment of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone. Only by gathering many fragments of the Life Spirit Meteorite can one enter, especially the place that contains the treasures of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Many fragments of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone are needed. Although I came in early, it was useless. I could only waste time. It wasn't until 3,000 years ago that the heavenly human tribe entered that I became cautious. I hid in the dark and waited for an opportunity to kill a few of them. After that, I waited until now. When you people entered, I knew that my opportunity had come. At this point, Xueqi stopped and did not continue, but everyone knew what he was going to say next. It was nothing more than pretending to be a newcomer like them. He would blend in with the crowd, secretly attack, seize the fragments of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone, and then go alone to obtain the treasures of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Xueqi's words were indeed self-justifying. But everyone was still skeptical. If you don't believe me, I can swear with my life origin. Immediately, Xueqi swore with the origin of life that what he had just said was true. Seeing Xueqi swear with his life origin, everyone had to believe him. Unless Xueqi did not want to live anymore. But even if he did not want to live, there was no need to use such a method. Now, as long as you swear with your life origin that after I tell you the details of the location, you will spare my life and I will tell you. I will also give you the map and the fragments of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone that I have. Xueqi said. Okay, I promise you. Everyone, what do you think? A second-layer Divine Master Old Man answered, looking at Lu Ming and the others. Obviously, he was tempted. In fact, he was not the only one. Lu Ming and the others were also tempted. That was the supreme treasure of the Heavenly Court. In the universe it was a top treasure, even more precious than the 18 divine weapons. Who would not be tempted? I also agree. Anya Rose said. Needless to say, she was also tempted. I agree. In the end, Lu Ming nodded. Xueqi was overjoyed to see everyone agree. Then, Lu Ming and the others all swore with their life origin that they would spare Xueqi's life as long as he handed over the Life Spirit Primordial Stone and the map. Good. Xueqi was overjoyed, but a savage killing intent flashed in the depths of his eyes. He roared in his heart. As long as he survived this time, he would madly seek revenge after his injuries had healed. He had been here for 300,000 years and could not be more familiar with this place. He could come and go freely in the fog. When the time came, he would take advantage of his familiarity with the terrain to hunt down all these people. Especially Lu Ming, Anya Rose, and the others. He would madly seek revenge and make them regret their actions. Now, hand over the map and the Life Spirit Primordial Stone fragment. A second-level God Lord Elder barked. Okay, I'll give it to you. Xueqi said as his forehead shone, and a jade token flew out. The jade token was about the size of a palm, and one could see that the jade token was covered in fine carvings. The old man at the second-level Divine Master Realm hurriedly grabbed the jade tablet. Everyone's eyes flashed, but they said nothing. The second-level God Lord Elder then poured his divine power into the jade token. The jade token shone, and a map appeared in the air. The map was very detailed, and there was a red on it that represented their current location. In addition, there was a yellow dot some distance away. That yellow dot is where the supreme treasure of the Heavenly Court is hidden. Xueqi explained. Everyone's eyes burned with fervent light. It seemed like everything Xueqi had said was true. As long as they followed the map, they would not get lost even in the fog. It wouldn't be long before they arrived at the location of the treasure. End of this chapter. Chapter 4481. Also, the Life Soul Origin Stone is in the storage ring on my finger. I'm injured and can't touch it, so you can take it. Xueqi said. Immediately, many people's eyes lit up. Bang! Bang! Several people stepped forward, wanting to take Xueqi's storage ring, but they were all obstructed by each other's energies. Their energies erupted and clashed in the air, none of them willing to back down. The two second-tier God Lord experts in particular were exuding an intense fighting spirit as their energies clashed. Everyone, there are so many of us here that no one can take the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments for themselves. I suggest that we divide them equally. Once we reach the treasury of the supreme treasure of the heavenly court, we can take out the life soul origin stone fragments together and open the treasury. What do you think? Anya Rose suggested. The eyes of the two second-tier God Lord experts flashed. If an ordinary God Emperor dared to speak to them like this, dared to suggest splitting the fragments equally, they would have long since slapped him to death. A God Emperor dared to dream of being on equal footing with a God Lord? However, Anya Rose, Lu Ming, and the others were truly too terrifying and could not be judged by common sense. When they had surrounded Xueqi, Xian Yanqing and the Dark Knight Rose had used a joint attack. It was so powerful that even they were terrified. They were afraid that if they were trapped, only death awaited them. And Lu Ming's strength was also unimaginable. Earlier when they were dealing with Xueqi, Lu Ming had defeated him with a surprise move, breaking through Xueqi's defenses and capturing him. They were all monstrous geniuses. Although they were divine masters, they had no choice but to suppress their pride in front of these monstrous geniuses. Okay, then we'll listen to Miss Rose. The second-tier God Lord Elder smiled. The other second-tier God Lord expert also had no objections. Since the strongest experts of each group had no objections, the others had no objections either, nor did they dare to. A hint of disappointment appeared in Xueqi's eyes. He had been hoping that Lu Ming and the others would fight over the life soul origin stone fragments, but he hadn't expected it to end so easily. Several people worked together to take the storage ring from Xueqi's hand. After opening it, they found several life soul origin stone fragments. A total of 5 pieces. The forces represented by the 2 second-stage divine masters each got a piece of land. Lu Ming got one, while Dark Knight Rose got the other. The 5th piece was given to the last first-stage divine master. Everyone, I've given you first place and the life spirit vitality stone fragment. Can I leave now? Xueqi said. The divine lord realm existences all showed a hint of unwillingness. They really didn't want to let Xueqi go, because if Xueqi left, it would be very dangerous. However, for the sake of the heavenly court's most precious treasure, they had no choice but to swear on their life essence. They had no choice but to let it go now. Let you go? You're too naive. After we let you go, are we going to wait for you to take revenge on us? Lu Ming sneered. He clenched his fist and a long spear condensed in his hand. What? The Divine Lord Realm experts in Xueqi were all stunned, looking at Lu Ming in shock. Could it be that Lu Ming wanted to break his oath and kill Xueqi? Xueqi reacted very quickly. He cried out, Lu Ming, what are you doing? Don't forget that you swore on your life essence that you can't kill me. If you kill me, you'll face a calamity and die. Do you want to die with me? Perish together with you? Haha, you're not worthy. Don't you know that reciprocity existences don't fear oaths on life essence? Lu Ming sneered. Cold killing intent erupted from his body, so dense that it seemed to be tangible. Those are reciprocity existences who control origin energy. You're just a god emperor, Xueqi roared. However, his voice stopped abruptly. His eyes widened and a look of horror appeared in his eyes. Origin energy. The reason why reciprocity experts did not fear oaths on life essence was because of origin energy. However, Lu Ming had also mastered the power of origin. Earlier, Lu Ming had only managed to break through Xueqi's defenses by erupting with origin energy. However, Xueqi was in a hurry to save his life, so he did not think of this. Who would have thought that the other party would be able to use source energy to go against the life source oath when facing some god emperors? Subconsciously, they ignored it. But it was too late to think of it now. No, don't kill me. You can't break your oath. Xueqi cried out in horror. He did not want to die. He had already found the life spirit heavenly court. As long as he killed Lu Ming and the others and obtained enough life spirit origin stone fragments, he might have a chance to recover his talent and potential and reach a higher realm. Therefore he struggled frantically. Unfortunately, his injuries were very serious. Even if he had recovered a little, he could only barely move his body. Xueqi, go well, Lu Ming said coldly as he stabbed out with his spear. Puff! The spear directly pierced through Xueqi's forehead, killing him there. Xueqi's eyes widened. He was unwilling to accept this. Good. The others shouted in their hearts. They did not dare to kill Xueqi. Lu Ming had killed him. If they let Xueqi go, they would not be able to sleep and eat in peace. As for whether Lu Ming could really resist the backlash of the oath on life essence, they were too lazy to care. It would be best if Lu Ming died from the backlash. "Young master, is it really okay for you to kill him like this?" Xueqi hurriedly asked, her small face full of nervousness and worry. "Lu Ming, can your origin energy withstand it?" Xian Yanqing also asked, also a little worried. She also used origin energy, but the amount was very small. She felt that she could not withstand the backlash of the oath on life essence. She was a little worried about whether Lu Ming could withstand it. "Don't worry, the backlash of the oath on life essence will not happen now. It will happen later in the cultivation. I am confident that I can withstand it," Lu Ming said with a smile. The amount of origin energy he controlled was not small. Although it was definitely not comparable to the existence of the origin realm, it should be able to withstand the backlash of the oath on life essence. Moreover, he had a forbidden body and controlled forbidden energy. Fei Huang once told him that forbidden energy also had a strong effect in resisting the backlash of the oath on life essence. With the combination of the two, Lu Ming was confident and confident. Otherwise, he would not take the risk so easily. "Everyone, let's go," Lu Ming said. Then, everyone set off. According to the map left by Xueqi, they headed in the direction of the treasure of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. With the map, their speed was very fast. At the same time, they did not encounter any more attacks. However, according to the map, the treasure was not far from them. In fact, it was a long way away. They were in the south of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court, and the treasure was in the north. They had to cross almost half of the ancient city of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Along the way, everyone had their own thoughts. They were all thinking about a problem. How would they divide the treasure after obtaining it? Chapter 4482. There was only one treasure, so how could they split it? There were 7 or 8 groups of people here, and all of them wanted the treasure. Who should the treasure go to? Everyone's eyes flashed, each with their own thoughts. The 2 second-level divine lords even had killing intent in their eyes, but they quickly hid it. They really wanted to kill everyone else and take the treasure for themselves. However, when they thought about the strength of Lu Ming's group, they were extremely afraid. They didn't want to be killed by Lu Ming's group before they could kill Lu Ming's group. In truth, they weren't the only ones with such thoughts. Lu Ming, Dark Knight Rose, and the others also had such thoughts. They also wanted to kill everyone here. However, the other side had 2 second-level divine lords and 1 first-level divine lord. They wouldn't be so easy to deal with. As long as Xian Yanqing and the Dark Knight Rose's combined attack enveloped a second-layer divine master, only death would await them. However, there was still a second-level divine lord. Even if he recovered his origin energy and used all his strength, he still wouldn't be able to keep them here. If a few of them managed to escape with the Life Soul Origin Stone fragments, they wouldn't be able to gather enough Life Soul Origin Stone fragments. Even if they reached the treasury, it would be useless. Moreover, the other side was very wary of them. It wouldn't be easy to suddenly attack and kill one of them. In addition, they were only cooperating with Dark Knight Rose and weren't on the same side. Thus, they didn't attack. Everyone had their own misgivings and were wary of each other as they headed toward their destination. However, Lu Ming's group didn't know that their destination had long since been occupied by someone else, the celestial race. On the empty ground, there were many tall bronze statues. These bronze statues all looked like warriors. They were clad in armor and wielded swords. Each statue was tens of thousands of feet tall. There were 108 bronze statues on this plain. They were arranged in a strange pattern, forming an array. In the center of the bronze statue, there was a tall altar. 12 divine weapons floated around the altar. These 12 divine weapons were of different shapes and sizes. None of them were the same. Spear, sword, halberd, axe, battle axe, hook, fork, whip, truncheon, hammer, dagger, and saber. There were a total of 12 types. Each of them exuded a terrifying aura that resonated with the surrounding 108 bronze statues, increasing the power of the formation. A group of people was floating in the air of this region. There were about 30 of them. 12 of them had shocking auras, and they were all divine masters. Moreover, they were not ordinary divine masters. Their auras were much stronger than a first or second layer divine master. These were all existences at the 3rd level of the divine master realm or higher. The one in the center was even more terrifying. His aura was shocking, causing the void to tremble, forming an incomparably terrifying pressure. If Lu Ming were here, He would definitely be shocked because this was an existence on the level of the Lord of Heaven. Only the strongest of the divine masters could be called the Lord of Heaven. Every Lord of Heaven was extremely powerful. Who would have thought that there would be a Lord of Heaven here? With the Lord of Heaven at the center, the 12 experts laid down a massive array. Powerful energy poured down as if they were trying to destroy the formation below and refine something. The 108 bronze statues and 12 divine weapons below had already dimmed. It seemed like they wouldn't be able to last much longer. Han Ming, accept your fate. Even if you summon 12 divine weapons, it's useless. At most, you'll be able to struggle at death's door for a little longer. Sooner or later, we'll break through it. A man on the side coldly said. This man looked very young, only in his 20s, but his aura was astonishing. He was also a divine master. One naturally couldn't judge a person's age based on their appearance. Although he looked to be in his 20s, he was actually very old. At the very least, he wasn't a member of the younger generation. This was because no one in the younger generation had never been to the Grand Supreme Immortal City, and had such a high cultivation. This person was speaking to the altar, as if the Han Ming he spoke of was within the altar. However, there was no response from the altar. Han Ming, 4 of the 18 divine weapons are in the hands of the Heavenly Palace. If the 18 divine weapons aren't complete, they won't be able to stop us. Also, if you want to summon the Vitality Stone fragments and reform them to strengthen yourself, you can stop dreaming. I've already sent people to hunt down those who control the fragments. Now, half of the fragments are in my hands, so your fate is sealed. Han Ming, you're the master of the Heavenly Palace. You've been struggling at death's door for so long, but in the end, you still have to strengthen me. I'll extract the remaining half of the taboo body from you and complete my taboo body. I, Yi Wu, will be the first heavenly human to completely control the taboo body. The young man shouted. It turned out that this person was the Lord Yi Wu that the heavenly humans had mentioned. How dare a heavenly human try to control the taboo power? How naive. You'll reap what you sow. This time around, a rough voice sounded from the altar. Merely, it sounded very weak. Ha ha ha, nothing is impossible. I've already completely controlled half of the taboo power, and my combat strength has increased tremendously. Once I extract the other half from you, I'll be able to completely control it. At that time, I'll use both the supreme heavenly power and the taboo power at the same time. Who in the world will be my match? I'll be invincible against those of the same level, and I'll surpass the strongest person in the history of the heavenly human tribe. Ha ha ha. Yi Wu laughed. His face was ferocious, and his eyes were burning with anticipation. This time, there was no response from the altar. Humph. Han Ming, despair. Yi Wu snorted. At this time, someone flew toward them. It was a second-level divine master heavenly human elder. You guys, how is it? Have you killed all the remaining people? Yi Wu asked. Lord Yi Wu, please forgive us. The second-level divine master heavenly human elder cupped his fists, fear written all over his face. Yi Wu frowned, and a murderous aura emanated from him. Speak. What happened? Lord Yi Wu, the heavenly court is too big, and we're severely understaffed. Moreover, it's difficult to capture them during the fog. We don't know where the rest of the people have gone, so... The second-level divine master heavenly human elder stammered. Trash. What a bunch of trash. Yi Wu shouted. The second-level divine master heavenly human elder lowered his head, not daring to reply. If it weren't for the fact that I couldn't leave, I would have gone there myself. Go, continue the search. You must kill all of them and bring me the fragments of the primordial stone of fate. The complete primordial stone of fate will be my treasure. Yi Wu ordered. Yes, I'll do my best. Don't do your best. You must complete it. Yi Wu's face darkened. The other party hurriedly replied and left. Chapter 44-83. With the map and no one ambushing them, Lu Ming and the others moved much faster. When the fog dissipated, they moved even faster. They flew at full speed according to the map. In just 7 days, they were close to the hiding place of the Life-Soul Heavenly Court's supreme treasure. At this time, the atmosphere became even more tense. Everyone wanted the supreme treasure, so they were hostile to each other. Therefore, they kept a distance from each other for fear of being ambushed by others. We're almost there. Everyone, why don't we discuss how to split the treasure after we find it? A second-layer Divine Master expert said. Of course, it's based on our strength. Lu Ming said. Okay, then it's based on our strength. The second-layer Divine Master expert said. This was the law of the cultivation world. If they couldn't work together to split the treasure, they could only rely on their strength. The others had no objections. According to the map, we'll reach a plain after flying over this mountain. We'll be there soon, another second-layer Divine Master Elder said. This person had been holding the map all this time. Everyone's hearts were in their mouths. They used their movement techniques and flew over the top of the mountain. In the next moment, everyone stopped abruptly. Their eyes widened as they stared in front of them. Then, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. They naturally saw the heavenly human experts, the altar, and the formation below. Lu Ming and the others were dumbfounded. They didn't expect the heavenly human tribe to be here. Shouldn't the heavenly human tribe be in the east? Ha ha ha, I've searched high and low, only to find it by chance. These people actually delivered themselves to me. Take them down. Yi Wu laughed loudly. With a wave of his hand, two heavenly human elders stepped forward and rushed toward Lu Ming and the others. These two elders didn't participate in the formation, so their cultivation wasn't too high. They were only second-layer Divine Masters. But they were also very terrifying. They pressed toward Lu Ming and the others like two stars. Oh no, we've been tricked. Let's go. Lu Ming roared, his power bursting forth as he pulled Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God back. Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God also reacted and quickly retreated. Dark Night Rose and the others reacted very quickly. Just as Lu Ming and the others retreated, they also retreated. The other groups of people reacted a little slower, and by the time they were about to retreat, the two second-tier Divine Masters of the Celestial race had already closed in. A long spear and a battle sword, both formed from the most powerful heavenly force, slaughtered towards the crowd. The power was extremely shocking. Block it! The two second-layer Divine Master Realm existences shouted angrily. They erupted with their full strength and blasted out a blow. However, they were no match for the Celestial race's experts. After exchanging a blow, they coughed up blood and retreated. The two second-layer Divine Masters of the Heavenly Human Tribe didn't stop their attacks. Screams filled the air as the only remaining first-layer Divine Lord was killed. In addition, a few other young prodigies were also killed. Their storage rings fell into the hands of the Celestial race. Among them was the peerless genius ranked 5th on the Universe Prodigy list, Bei Ao. He was also killed in a single blow. Let's go! After the two second-layer Divine Masters were injured, they turned around and left. They didn't dare to linger. The two of you, go after those two Divine Masters. Leave those little fellows to me. Yi Wu's voice rang out as he charged forward, chasing after Lu Ming and the others. His speed was extremely shocking. After a few flashes, the distance between him and Lu Ming and the others was rapidly closing. Boom! He punched out, and a blazing fist energy blasted toward Lu Ming and the others. The violent power caused Lu Ming and the group's expressions to change drastically. Third-layer Divine Master. The moment Yi Wu attacked, Lu Ming and the others sensed that Yi Wu's cultivation was at the third-layer Divine Master realm. Moreover, he wasn't an ordinary third-layer Divine Master. The fist energy was like a blazing sun. It was formed by countless lightning bolts. This was the power of heaven's punishment. In an instant, it enveloped Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shen, Dark Night Rose, Di Jenny, and the others. Buzz! Lu Ming shouted as he used the obsidian staff. He unleashed his full strength and attacked the fist energy. At the same time, Xian Yanqing, Dark Night Rose, and the others all attacked. They knew that if they couldn't block it, they would all die. Now, they were intimately interdependent. With so many people attacking at the same time, all kinds of powerful weapons bombarded the blazing fist energy, causing a series of earth-shattering explosions. Then, these powerful weapons vibrated violently and were sent flying. Lu Ming and the others retreated like kites with broken strings and fell to the ground. They all suffered different degrees of injuries. What a powerful force! Lu Ming's eyes were solemn. This person's combat power was too strong. Although he was only a third-layer Divine Master, his strength was definitely much stronger than an ordinary third-layer Divine Master. When this person was young, he must have been a top genius. However, at this moment, Yi Wu's eyes were fixed on Lu Ming. Forbidden power. You have mastered the forbidden power. Good, very good. As long as I can suppress you and send you back to the heavenly palace, it will be a great achievement. Yi Wu laughed as he put his hands behind his back and stepped forward. He looked as if he was invincible. He was very conceited. However, with his strength, he had the right to be conceited when facing Lu Ming and the others. Attack! At this moment, Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose shouted as they moved at the same time. They flashed out and quickly formed seals with their hands. Combined attack technique. Explode! The next moment, a huge black lotus appeared under Yi Wu's feet. On top of his head, a sky-devouring rose appeared. The two flowers, one above the other, released a terrifying burst of field energy that enveloped Yi Wu. At the same time, Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose circulated the origin energy in their bodies. Although they had used it the last time, it had been many days since then. The origin energy in the seed of origin had long been restored. Sizzle! The field energy made Yi Wu's body tremble slightly. Even his protective heavenly energy was trembling. Combined attack technique. Interesting. No, this is the origin energy. Yi Wu's face suddenly changed. He was shocked. He could feel the origin energy in the terrifying field energy. Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose were only 9th-layer divine gods, but they had mastered the origin energy. This made Yi Wu very surprised and curious. At this moment, Lu Ming also made his move. He also released the origin energy and merged it with the forbidden power into the obsidian staff. He activated the obsidian staff with all his might and attacked Yi Wu. Boom! The attack went through the field energy and hit Yi Wu's face. This is also the origin energy. Yi Wu's eyes were shining. There was greed, passion, and surprise in his eyes. However, he didn't stop there. He threw a punch. When he punched out, a terrifying power erupted from his body. This power was not the power of the heavens. It was the forbidden power. Chapter 4484. Clang! Yi Wu threw out a punch and hit the Bingxian staff. Instantly, Lu Ming felt an indestructible and overwhelming force rushing toward him from the Bingxian rod. His body could not help but retreat as he coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. His arm was almost shattered by the powerful force. It was covered with cracks and blood was flowing out. Forbidden power. This is the forbidden power. Lu Ming was shocked. He was all too familiar with taboo powers. Once Yi Wu used it, Lu Ming could sense that this was taboo power. At the same time, Xian Yanqing, Anya Rose, and the others were also shocked. They stared at Yi Wu. How could a member of the heavenly human tribe control the forbidden power? It was unbelievable. Legend had it that the forbidden power was the natural enemy of the heavenly human tribe. The forbidden body was the natural enemy of the heavenly human tribe. How could a member of the heavenly human tribe control the forbidden power? No, it's an incomplete forbidden power. It's not complete. There's only half of it. It might have been extracted from someone else. Lu Ming shouted. He remembered that when he was captured, the heavenly human tribe wanted to extract the forbidden power from him. Perhaps the forbidden power controlled by the heavenly human tribe was extracted from other forbidden bodies. That was why there was only half of it. A forbidden power and origin in advance. Good, very good. It's a great achievement to capture someone like you. Suppress. Yi Wu shouted. The energy in his body erupted like a volcano. This time, he used his full strength. His terrifying power directly destroyed Xian Yanqing and Dark Knight Rose's combined attack. The two of them spat out blood and flew back, crashing to the ground. Then, Yi Wu stretched out his hand. A huge palm formed and grabbed at Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Anya Rose, and the others. He wanted to suppress Lu Ming and the others with a single move. Yi Wu was too powerful. His cultivation was at the 3rd level of the Divine Master Realm, which was far beyond what Lu Ming and the others could handle. Coupled with his terrifying combat strength, he was much stronger than Lu Ming and the others. He didn't use his full strength when he attacked Lu Ming and the others. Otherwise, he could have killed Lu Ming and the others in an instant. At this moment, he stretched out his palm. The huge palm covered the sky like a small world. The terrifying energy suppressed Lu Ming and the others and made them unable to move, let alone fight back. We still fell into Xueqi's trap. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. At this moment, he knew that Xueqi had tricked them. What Xueqi said sounded true. He said that there was a supreme treasure of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court here, and that it needed many pieces of the Life Spirit Origin Stone to open it. He also said that his map was true. Otherwise, Xueqi would not have dared to swear on his life origin. However, he had hidden the most important piece of information. That was, this place had long been occupied by the Heavenly Human Tribe. Even if Xueqi had obtained many Life Origin Stone fragments, he wouldn't have dared to come here. He told Lu Ming and the others about this place so that Lu Ming and the others could come here and die. Lu Ming and the others didn't understand at that time, but it was too late now. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. Down below on the ground, the altar that had been motionless suddenly shone brightly, and a burst of energy rushed toward Yi Wu. Yi Wu was shocked and quickly retreated. However, the target of this force wasn't Yi Wu, but Lu Ming and the others. With a bang, the giant palm formed by Yi Wu was crushed by this force. Then, this force enveloped Lu Ming and the others. This force was like a strong suction force, trying to suck Lu Ming and the others into the altar. Don't resist. I'm saving you. A rough voice sounded in the ears of Lu Ming and the others. Lu Ming and the others were moved. They didn't resist at all and let the force pull them toward the altar. Although they didn't know who the other party was and whether they had any ill intentions, they had no choice now. If they were outside, they would definitely be suppressed or even killed by the Heavenly Human Tribe. If they followed this force, they might have a chance. Soul Destiny! Yi Wu roared, his anger soaring to the sky. Stop him! Yi Wu continued to shout. The 12 people who set up the array shouted at the same time and shot out a divine light to cut off the force from the altar. However, the altar shone and rushed out another force to attack the divine light. Boom! An earth-shattering rumble resounded, and energy overflowed in all directions. The entire area was covered by a sky full of multicolored light. Bang! 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 The bronze statues kept exploding. 18 of them exploded in a row. In the end, they managed to block the force from the Heavenly Human Tribe. There seemed to be a vortex on the altar and the suction force suddenly increased. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Xin, Dark Night Rose, Di Jianyi, Ling Heng, Yin Jiuling, Xiao Wuji, and 3 other young men and women flew into the altar and disappeared. Damn it! Yi Wu roared in anger. Whoosh! 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 2 figures flew over. They were the 2 Heavenly Human Tribe elders who were at 2nd level Divine Master Realm. They had gone to kill the other 2 Heavenly Human Tribe elders and had returned. Have you killed them? Yi Wu asked coldly as he let out a breath and calmed down. Yes, they have been killed. Here are the fragments of the Soul Destiny Stone. One of the elders replied as he passed 2 storage rings to Yi Wu. Yi Wu took the 2 storage rings and scanned them with his spiritual consciousness. He looked much better. Humph! Han Ming, you can't even save yourself. You want to save them? What a joke. You destroyed 18 bronze statues to save them. Let's see how long you can resist us. Once the formation is broken, none of you will live. Yi Wu stood in the air and said to the altar. The people on the altar ignored Yi Wu. At this moment, there was a group of people staring at each other on the altar, sizing up their surroundings. The inside of the altar was very spacious and large. It was like an underground space. There was also an altar here. The altar was made of divine jade and it was covered with runes. There were also runes on the ground around the altar. These symbols shone and interweaved together to form a formation. Waves of mysterious aura were condensed from it. A figure was sitting cross-legged in the middle of the altar. The figure was in the shape of a human. He was tall and burly, but he looked miserable. He was so thin that he was just skin and bones. His eye sockets were sunken in. Occasionally, a few rays of light would flicker in them, proving that he was still alive. There was a layer of strange flames on the surface of this person's body. The flames were constantly jumping about, burning at all times. Lu Ming and the others looked at the figure carefully. It was obvious that he was the one who had brought them into the altar. Thank you for your help, Senior. Thank you for your help, Senior. Lu Ming and the others cupped their fists in gratitude. Chapter 4485. You don't have to be polite. I just don't want to see you die in the hands of the Heavenly Human Tribe. You are all talented and have endless potential. It would be a pity to die in the hands of the Heavenly Human Tribe. The withered figure sitting on the altar spoke. His voice was rough, just like what they had heard before, but his aura was weak. "Senior, how should I address you?" Lu Ming cupped his fists and asked. "You heard that heavenly human brat call me, right?" "My name is Han Ming," the withered figure said. Han Ming? Everyone was confused. They had never heard of it before. "You may not have heard of my name, but you should have heard of my other title. Otherwise you wouldn't be here," the withered voice continued. Everyone pricked up their ears to listen. This person must have a shocking background. That was their guess. They could tell by looking at the layout of the area. There were 108 bronze statues surrounding the altar. There were also 12 powerful divine weapons around the altar. The divine weapons gave off a shocking aura. Lu Ming and Anya Rose felt a sense of familiarity. Those were the 18 divine weapons of the palaces. Thinking up to this point, the two of them became even more bewildered as their imaginations ran wild. Han Ming's voice continued. "Back then, all the races in the primitive universe called me the master of the heavenly court." Rumble. It was like a clap of thunder in everyone's mind. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared at the withered figure in shock. Shock and disbelief were in their eyes. It was shocking. It was really shocking. They had heard of the master of the heavenly court. His full name was the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. This person was actually the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court, known as one of the most powerful taboos in history. Legend had it that the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court died with the destruction of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. He was still alive? This was a truly legendary figure with an incomparably long history, even before the primordial divine court. Back then, the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court had created the Life Spirit Heavenly Court with his own strength. In the end, he developed the Life Spirit Heavenly Court to fight against the Heavenly Palace. Although they were defeated in the end, the Heavenly Palace, which was at its peak, suffered a great loss. After the battle with the Life Spirit Heavenly Court, the Heavenly Palace began to decline from its peak. Only then did the archaic divine court rise. This legendary figure had appeared before them just like that. However, his appearance was a bit too miserable. After a while, Lu Ming and the others came back to their senses. "Senior, didn't you die in battle back then? What was going on now? Are those heavenly humans outside trying to deal with you? Also, why does the heavenly human tribe member outside possess half a wisp of forbidden power?" Lu Ming asked several questions. Everyone revealed curious expressions because these were the same questions in their hearts. "This little fellow has so many questions." The voice of the life spirit, the owner of the heavenly courts, sounded, making Lu Ming feel a little awkward. However, he still looked at the other party, hoping that the other party could answer his question. "First, I'll answer your last question. The heavenly human outside is called Yi Wu. The half-taboo power in him is mine," Han Ming said. It turned out that this person was the Lord Yi Wu that the heavenly human tribe members had talked about. What was even more surprising was that the half-taboo power in Yi Wu's body actually belonged to the Life Spirit Heavenly Court's master. Back then, the Life Spirit Heavenly Court was defeated and I was severely injured. A few old fellows of the heavenly human tribe wanted to extract the taboo power from me. In the end, they extracted half of it. However, I managed to escape in the end and escaped with the Life Spirit Heavenly Court to hide in the ruins of the universe. I didn't expect that after so many years, they would still find me. Yi Wu's purpose was to extract half of the taboo power from me, and merge it into one to form a complete taboo power. The Life Spirit Heavenly Court's master briefly explained. Although it was very simple and understated, it was very difficult to explain. However, everyone could imagine that the battle back then must have been extremely tragic. The process of his escape must have been extremely difficult. "Senior, after so many years, you still haven't recovered?" Lu Ming asked again. After knowing Han Ming's identity, Lu Ming could not help but feel a lot closer to him. Perhaps it had something to do with the fact that they both had taboo bodies. Therefore, he became bolder and asked whatever questions he had. In front of an overlord like Han Ming, the others were a little reserved. Even Xian Yanqing and Anya Rose were the same. Although they were reincarnated, even in their previous lives, they were still children in front of Han Ming. They were the juniors of the juniors. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Han Ming sighed and said the word difficult 3 times. In the battle back then, my injuries were too severe. Of course, that was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that half of my taboo power was extracted and I was struck by the heavenly human tribe's third-generation soul fire. It's the same kind of fire that's on my body. The third-generation soul fire is difficult to extinguish. It's said to be able to stay with me for 3 lifetimes and constantly erode my soul, essence, and spirit. Even after the new year, it was difficult for me to recover. Hunming said. Everyone's hearts trembled slightly. The third-generation soul fire. There was actually such a terrifying fire in the world that could stay with him for 3 lifetimes and could not be extinguished. It was the same even for someone as powerful as Hunming. For countless years, he had to endure the pain of the third-generation soul fire without being able to recover his strength. Just thinking about it made one shudder. This is also because of the confidence of Yi Wu and the others. Otherwise, I would be able to crush these heavenly humans outside with a finger as long as I recover some of my strength, Hunming said. A glint flashed in Hunming's sunken eyes. Everyone felt as if they were looking at that invincible powerhouse again. Senior, how should we get out of here? Lu Ming asked. It's difficult to get out of here. Hunming sighed. Everyone's heart sank. Even Hunming said that it would be difficult to get out. Were they really going to be trapped here until they died? Now, I'm using my remaining strength to control the array formation outside to resist. However, the other party has set up a great array formation, and there's even a heavenly monarch leading it. He's constantly breaking the array formation. Although I've summoned the 12 Palace Garrison divine weapons, they're not complete. They won't be able to resist for long. Hunming said. We have 2 Guardian divine weapons here. I don't know if they'll be useful. Lu Ming said. It's useless. Even with the 2 of you, we only have 14 of them. The 18 Hall Garrison divine weapons are incomplete, so they won't be of much use. The remaining ones should be sealed in the Celestial Palace, so I can't summon them. Hunming shook his head and continued. Originally, I wanted to summon the fragments of my Life Spirit Stone to form a complete Life Spirit Stone. The Life Spirit Stone can provide me with great strength and allow me to resist the other party for a while. However, most of the fragments have been intercepted by the other party. Chapter 4486. According to the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master, he had wanted to summon the fragments of the Life Spirit Primordial Stone to form a complete Life Spirit Primordial Stone. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Human Clan had intercepted most of it. Even though Lu Ming had brought a few pieces with him, they weren't useful. Lu Ming and the others finally understood why the Life Spirit Primordial Stone had acted strangely all of a sudden. It was because the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master had summoned it. The people of the Heavenly Human Tribe set up a formation to destroy the formation protecting me. It has already been 3,000 years. My strength is constantly weakening. If this continues, I estimate that they will break through the protective formation in at most 3 years. With my current strength, I am definitely not their match. Now, if you want to leave safely, there's only one way, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. What way? Everybody's eyes lit up. It's up to you. The Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master opened his turbid eyes and looked at Lu Ming. If it's up to me, I only have the strength of the 9th Great Supreme God Layer. I'm afraid I won't be of much use, said Lu Ming. No, you'll be of great use. More precisely, your forbidden strength will be of great use, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. After a short pause, he continued. You have a forbidden body, so you have complete forbidden strength. As for me, I have a forbidden body too. I can lend you my strength and fuse it with your forbidden strength. That way, you'll be able to explode with incredible strength. It won't be difficult for you to defeat the Heavenly Human Clan's people outside. Lend me your strength? How? Asked Lu Ming. Let me enter your body and fuse with your strength. Half of my forbidden strength can fuse with half of your forbidden strength. That way, I'll be able to recover some of my strength, said the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. Let you enter my body. Lu Ming's expression changed drastically. At the same time, Xian Yanqing, Qiu Moon, and Wan Shen's expressions changed drastically. Letting someone else enter one's body was extremely dangerous. Especially someone like the Life Spirit Heavenly Quartz Master. It was even more dangerous. Besides, he looked miserable. He had been tortured by the 3-world soulfire for countless years. He looked like a lamp that was about to run out of oil. If he entered Lu Ming's master's body, would he have any evil intentions? Possession? Lin Fan had to be on guard. After all, it was impossible to judge a book by its cover. Moreover, they had only just met. Lu Ming, don't accept him. Young master. Heavenly Court's masters, Heavenly Court's masters, master. Comms master, Heavenly Court spirit, Heavenly Court. Heavenly human, Heavenly Court, master. Heavenly human, Heavenly human, Heavenly human body. Had life spirit, Heavenly Court spirit, Heavenly Court's master. Heaven's Heavenly Court's master, Heavenly Courts. Heavenly human, Heavenly Court spirit, spirit, Heavenly Court. Said King Heavenly Court. It. The life spirit, Heavenly Court spirit, Heavenly Court spirit shook his head. No matter what I say, no matter how nice it sounds, you will still have concerns. After all, we are not familiar with each other. Moreover, the oath of life origin is ineffective on me. So, even if I swear, you will not believe me. Lu Ming did not say anything. Indeed, he would not believe the master's words. He would still have concerns. It's up to you to choose. If you choose to believe me, you can live. If you don't, we will die together when the protective array is broken. Everyone was silent. Dark Knight Rose and the others naturally hoped that Lu Ming would agree. That way, whether Lu Ming would be possessed or not, they would have a chance to live. However, they could not persuade Lu Ming. Moreover, you don't have much time to consider. I can at most resist for 3 more years. However, it's impossible for you to have 3 years to consider. Even if you agree to let me enter your body and fuse with the taboo power temporarily, with your current cultivation, you still don't have the qualifications. Only when your cultivation reaches the Divine Master Realm will you have the right to do so. Otherwise, you will explode and die before your power can fuse. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. It requires the cultivation of the Divine Master Realm. That's impossible in 3 years. Lu Ming sighed and nodded slightly. The others also shook their heads and sighed. 3 years was too short. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dark Knight Rose, and the others who had the strength of the top of the 9th Great Supreme God layer couldn't break through in 3 years. How could Lu Ming break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years? And Lu Ming knew that it was unlikely. Up until now, he still hadn't found the direction to break through to the Divine Master Realm. It was as if there was a dense fog in front of him, and he didn't know where to go. Obviously, his accumulation was far from enough. Not to mention 3 years, under normal circumstances, even 300, 3,000, or even 30,000 years would be impossible. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible. However, with my help, it might not be impossible. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This was the Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court. It was the oldest and strongest forbidden body in history. Perhaps it really could help him break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years. Originally, even with my help, I wouldn't have been able to help you break through to the Divine Master Realm in 3 years. However, you have the Origin Seed. This is a great shortcut that can save you a lot of time. I really didn't expect that you would be able to condense an Origin Seed at such a young age. You must have had some heaven-defying opportunity, right? The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, swept its gaze over Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Myriad God, Dark Knight Rose, and the others. That's right. We only managed to condense the Origin Seed by chance. However, how will the Origin Seed help us break through to the Divine Master Realm? Lu Ming asked humbly. It will be of great help. For those who cultivate divine power, if they want to break through from the Divine Emperor Realm to the Divine Master Realm, they need to cultivate a universe bridge in the black hole in their body. The universe bridge will extend to the depths of the black hole. The ultimate goal of the universe bridge is to connect to the universe C so that they can comprehend the universe origin energy. However, where is the universe C? There is no direction. Ordinary people only know how to cultivate the universe bridge and extend it to the depths of the black hole until they reach the 9th level of the Divine Emperor Realm. Only then can they find the direction. However, you are different. You already have the Origin Seed and can sense the universe C. It's like there are 2 points in space. As long as you connect the 2 points, you will be able to find a clear direction. You just need to keep going in this direction. Therefore, once you cultivate to the Divine Master Realm, your progress will be many times faster than ordinary people. Ordinary people need to cultivate and comprehend at the same time to find the direction. However, you have already set the direction. As long as you keep accumulating energy, you can continue to improve. Do you understand this explanation? The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Lu Ming and the others' eyes lit up. They felt enlightened. They had heard that condensing the origin seed would be of great help to the cultivation of the Divine Master Realm. However, Lu Ming did not understand what kind of help it would provide. Now, after the Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court's explanation, he suddenly understood. Chapter 4487. In fact, the black hole in a cultivator's body is equivalent to a door that leads to the universe C. Anyone who wants to break through to the Divine Master Realm needs this door. The Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court continued to explain. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly at these words. Senior, I have no door, how can I break through? Lu Ming asked. Cultivating the taboo power was completely different from ordinary cultivators. There was no black hole in his body, which meant that there was no door. How could he connect to the universe C? So, if there is no door, you have to create one. The Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court said, there are two main obstacles for a taboo body to break through to the Divine Master Realm. First, you have to create a door. Second, there will be many restrictions when breaking through to the next realm. You need to be extremely strong to break through the restrictions. You have to create your own secret skill. Create your own secret skill? When I broke through to the God Emperor realm, I created a secret skill. I wonder if it can be used? Lu Ming asked. Upon hearing this, Anya Rose, Di Jenny, and the rest looked at Lu Ming in shock. Lu Ming could create his own secret skill? This was absolutely shocking. Lu Ming was more terrifying than they had imagined. What? When you broke through to the God Emperor realm, you wanted to create your own secret skill. You even succeeded? This time, even the Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court was shocked. Cough cough yes. Lu Ming coughed dryly. Young man, how many secret skills have you mastered? It seems that there are some incredible people in the universe over the years. The Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court exclaimed. In the era when the Life Spirit was the Master of the Heavenly Court, there were no ancient secret skills in the universe. There were only some ordinary secret skills. Therefore, he did not expect that Lu Ming would create his own secret skill after breaking through from the Divine Emperor realm to the Divine the Arch realm. The main reason was that Lu Ming had mastered too many ancient secret skills, so there were many restrictions. After a while, the Life Spirit Master of Heavenly Court reacted and said, no, the secret skill that you created when you were at the God Emperor realm can only help you break through to the God Emperor realm. If you want to break through to the Divine Master realm, you have to create your own secret skill. He wants to create his own secret technique within 3 years? Lu Ming was bewildered. This was simply impossible. It was too difficult. It had taken him several hundred years to create the heaven-crushing art, and he had only succeeded on the Bodhi tree stump in the Grand Supreme Immortal City. Now, he had no idea how to create the second style of the secret skill. It was almost impossible for him to succeed in creating it in 3 years. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible. However, with my help it is possible. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Although the Master of the Life Spirit Heavenly Court had personally made this promise, Lu Ming still found it hard to believe. Wang. Suddenly, the altar below the Life Spirit of the Lord of the Heavenly Courts lit up. At the same time, the runes around the altar also emitted a glow. The entire underground space changed drastically all of a sudden. It was as if time and space had been reversed. Lu Ming and the group seemed to be in a starry universe. In the starry sky, there were countless stars. At this moment, they were all emitting dazzling light. Waves of gentle starlight fell on their bodies. Comfortable. Being enveloped by the starlight, the only thing they felt was comfort. It was as if their bodies had relaxed. Every pore on their bodies opened up, and every cell in their bodies started operating. At the same time, their minds were extremely clear. All the negative emotions in their hearts disappeared, as if their souls had been sublimated. This state, Lu Ming was shocked. This state was very similar to the feeling he had on the Bodhi tree stump, but the effect was much stronger. In an instant, dozens of secret techniques flashed through his mind. It was as if he had a new understanding of these secret techniques. The starlight was constantly seeping into his pores and activating his cells. It was constantly improving and strengthening his body. Not only his body, but also his taboo energy. Lu Ming felt that by absorbing this energy, his taboo energy would be strengthened. However, at this moment, the surrounding environment suddenly changed again. The stars disappeared, and the feeling of clarity also disappeared. They had returned to the underground space. Lu Ming looked around and saw Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shen, Dark Night Rose, and the others. They all looked like they had not had enough. Obviously, they had also entered the starry sky. How do you feel? In such an environment, can your cultivation speed be greatly increased? The life spirit, the master of the heavenly court, asked. In such an environment, we can indeed improve quickly, but in 3 years, Lu Ming replied. Towards the end of his sentence, he started to ponder. Even in such an environment, it was still impossible to comprehend a second secret technique that belonged to him in 3 years. The array here is called the Divine Creation Array. As its name suggests, one can obtain supreme fortune in the array. This is a backup plan that I set up in the early years. I was entangled by the 3 lifetimes soul fire. The 3 lifetimes divine fire can continuously corrode one's body and soul, causing one to become muddle-headed and eventually sink into oblivion. Back then, I was severely injured and half of my taboo energy was sucked away. If not for the divine creation array to keep my mind clear, I would have sunk into oblivion. Even if I did not die, I would have become a walking corpse. Similarly, when an ordinary person is in the divine creation array, their mind will be clear and free of impurities and impurities. It can also strengthen the power of the soul, greatly increasing the comprehension of the living beings in it. Also, this formation contains a huge amount of treasures. Although I've used up a lot of them over the years, it still contains a lot of energy once it's activated. Most importantly, this formation also contains the spine of a primitive godly spirit. That primitive godly spirit is a primitive godly spirit that can control time and space. It can be said that it's the ancestor of the stone spirit and spirit rats. When it's in the formation, it can control time and speed it up to 100 times faster than the outside world. In other words, 3 years of cultivation inside is equivalent to 300 years of cultivation outside. The life spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, explained in detail. So mysterious. Lu Ming was excited. 3 years was equivalent to 300 years of cultivation outside, and in such an environment, it was entirely possible for him to comprehend his second secret skill. There are 2 main difficulties for you to become a divine master. One is to create a door that can be used to build a bridge to the universe ocean. This is actually very simple. It's easy to construct it using your own cells that have fused with the secret skill. The most difficult part is to comprehend your own secret skill. Once this is solved, it won't be difficult for you to break through to the Divine Master realm. Also, once I activate the array, all of you can cultivate inside. With your foundation, most of you can break through to the Divine Master realm. What do you think, little guy? Do you want to consider it? The life spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said in a tempting voice. Chapter 4488. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He had to admit that the life spirit Heavenly Court Master's words were very tempting. Not only could he break through to the Almighty Realm, but so could Autumn Moon and the others. Once they did, their strength would increase tremendously. All right, I agree. Lu Ming pondered for a moment before agreeing. Under such circumstances, he had no choice. If he did not agree, they would all die when the heavenly human tribe refined the formation and broke in. According to the life spirit Heavenly Court Master, there was someone at the level of the Lord of Heaven among the heavenly human tribe outside. Previously, the Lord of Heaven was busy refining the protective formation and did not have time to attack them. Once the Lord of Heaven attacked, they would not be able to resist. The Lord of Heaven could kill them as easily as killing an ant. The difference was too great. If he agreed to the life spirit Heavenly Court Master's conditions, he would at least have a chance of survival. Even if the Lord of Heaven had evil intentions and possessed him, at least Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, Wan Shen, and Xueqi would survive. It could be said that he had no choice. Hence, Lu Ming agreed without hesitation. Lu Ming, young master. Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and the others were worried. However, Anya Rose, Di Jenny, and the others were delighted. No matter what happened to Lu Ming, it was great news for Di Jenny and the others. Lu Ming glanced at Dark Night Rose and the rest. He really wanted to suggest to the Life Soul Heavenly Court Master to exclude Dark Night Rose and the rest from entering the Creation Divine Array. However, on second thought, Lu Ming rejected the idea. With Anya Rose and the others' talents, it would not be a problem for them to break through to the Almighty Realm. It was just a matter of time. If they were not allowed to enter the formation now, they would be able to break through later. Another thing was that it was hard to predict what would happen 3 years later. Who knew if the Life Spirit Heavenly Court Master could deal with the people from the Heavenly Court after merging into his body? After all, the life spirit of the Lord of the Heavenly Court looked too weak. If Dark Knight Rose and the others broke through to the God Lord realm and became much stronger, they would attract a lot of firepower and change the situation. This was beneficial to Xian Yanqing and the others. After all, Dark Knight Rose and the others did not have any deep grudges with them. It was just that they had different ideologies. Even if it was Di Jianyi, who had been enemies with Lu Ming in the Taishu dynasty, it was because they had their own masters. Hence, there was no grudge between the two of them. All right, there's no time to lose. Let's begin. I'll open the array. You guys enter the array and cultivate. Lu Ming, if you have any questions, you can ask me at any time. The Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. Thank you, Senior. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Then, let's start the formation. The voice of the Heavenly Court rang out. As soon as it spoke, the runes on the altar and the ground glowed again. In the next moment, Lu Ming and the others returned to the starry sky. They bathed in the starlight and sat cross-legged to cultivate. Lu Ming also sat cross-legged in the starry sky. He closed his eyes and began to cultivate. First, he had to open a door. A black hole would appear in the elixir field of others. That was the door to the Universe C. But he did not. He had to do it himself. However, it was not difficult. He had mastered tens of thousands of secret skills and had integrated them into the cells in his body. He only needed to use the cells that had integrated the secret skills as the foundation to create a door. His body began to shine with spots of light. Those were the cells that had been fused with the secret technique runes. Each cell was as bright as a star. What I need to do is to connect these cells together, Lu Ming said to himself and began to try. Soon there was movement. A cell between his eyebrows shone. Then, a thread extended and connected to another glowing cell nearby. Then, a thread extended out from the second cell and connected to the third cell. In this way, the second cell connected to the third to the fourth, and the fourth to the fifth. About half a month later, the tens of thousands of cells in his body that had integrated the secret skill runes were connected. It was like a painting. Under Lu Ming's meticulous drawing, the tens of thousands of points connected to form a pattern. This pattern looked like a door. Open! Lu Ming shouted softly. All the cells in his body trembled. Taboo power gushed out of every cell and surged into the tens of thousands of cells. All of a sudden, the tens of thousands of cells shone brightly. Then, an extremely powerful force gathered in the middle of the door. The space in the middle of the door started to tremble and crumble. In the end, a pitch-black vortex appeared. This vortex kept spinning. It was unfathomable. No one knew where it led to. I did it! Lu Ming was overjoyed. He had finally evolved a door. This door was the door to the Universe C. Its effect was similar to the other people's black holes. However, the others evolved step by step through star cores and stars. He, on the other hand, evolved with the surrounding cells as the foundation and the forbidden power as the carrier. Senior, does my cultivation in the Divine Lord realm also require me to open a universal bridge through this door? Lu Ming's spiritual sense vibrated and sent out a message. He knew that the Master of the Heavenly Court could hear it. Sure enough, the next moment, the Master of the Heavenly Court's voice rang out. Not necessarily, the Life Spirit, the Lord of the Heavenly Court, said. I can't say for sure. After all, there are too few taboo bodies in history. Before me, as far as I know, there was only one taboo body that cultivated to the Divine Master realm. Unfortunately, that taboo body perished at the Divine Master realm. As far as I know, when he broke through to the Almighty realm, he didn't open a universe bridge. Instead, it was a platform. As he continued to cultivate, the platform would carry his consciousness deeper and deeper. However, that person didn't break through to the origin realm. I don't know what the result of his cultivation will be. As for me, what I opened was a path. A path paved with white jade. Following this path, you can reach the Universe C. Therefore, I speculate that the path to the Universe C created by the forbidden body may be different. The Master of the Heavenly Court's life spirit said. Is that so? Lu Ming muttered. Now that you've opened the door, you can begin to comprehend your own secret technique. Once you succeed, it shouldn't be difficult for you to break through to the Almighty realm. The Master of the Heavenly Court's life spirit said. All right. Lu Ming nodded. With a thought, the cells in his body dimmed and the door disappeared. Of course, it didn't really disappear. As long as he willed it, the door would reappear. In this aspect, he was different from ordinary cultivators. For ordinary cultivators, the black hole in their dantian existed at all times. However, the door he created could open and close at will. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.